I didn't mean to do that. What did I just do? Puerto Rico. Okay, test. Test. Looks good. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh yeah. Got too many windows open. Gotta close some of this stuff up. It's driving me crazy. Alright. Got some. Alright, so we got Dan Sylvan, Arkansas. That's probably not gonna flip. Okay. Alright, so in that'd be 32. I need to get better at like writing on here. I find it so hard to write with a mouse. I just can't do it. Alright. And 31. Alright, so right now we're looking at, for the Senate, only a third of the Senate's up for re-election, so we got 35 seats up for grabs. And if no one gets elected, Dems 32, Republicans 31. And, you know, there's probably some, like, real easy ones. Tina Smith in Minnesota. Illinois is probably going to go easy blue. Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware. Those will all be locks. So, like, absolute locks of the 13. Like, Oregon, 1, 2, 3. Illinois, Virginia, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, 9 easy locks. And for the Republicans, they probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, you know what, let's do this another way. With the possible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I think I did my math right. 18. And then 1, 2, no, I didn't do my math right. So, all right, actually, there was a better way to do this. So right now, it's 45 to 53 in the Senate. And there's 2 independents that usually go with the Democrats. But we got Bernie. So Bernie Sanders. Oh, mijo. So that means Democrats need to pick up 5 seats. Where can they do this? So we got Maine, Ohio, Michigan, and then we're going to start looking for some tough ones. Or the easiest one is North Carolina. That's definitely flipping. So they need 5. North Carolina, Maine, Ohio, Michigan, and then maybe then we got Alaska, Texas, Nebraska. Nebraska's a weird one. I'm going to put that in its own little special box. And Iowa. Better than any Democrat? Well, I mean, not really. We can just look at the numbers. They have better numbers. They have less recessions, higher GDP growth, higher job growth. By what metric do you think the Republicans have a better economy? Did you already leave? I already ran. Alright, that's fine. So, why? I don't know what your internet acronyms mean, so if you want to say something, you gotta say it. I don't know. I don't know why people do that. Why? Yeah, never heard that before. Okay, but all right. So they would have to flip. They would have to get 5 new seats. North Carolina, I think is happening. It's already like on prediction or on like polling websites. It's absolutely polling. So I think North Carolina is the easiest flip. And then we got Maine, Ohio, Michigan. I think Michigan is also an easy flip. That would get them to 47, 48 with Bernie caucusing. So I don't think that would be too hard. So I think the next ones would be Maine and Ohio. And I don't know how Plattner is looking right now. His polls. Plattner is up in every single poll. The closest one is the Fabrizio, which that's the Republican like based one, and they're even. So I mean, Maine's like +2. Ohio. Oh, man. Ohio is weird. These are all over the place. I think Ohio is like dead even. We got some like, let's see. Fox News has the Democrats up by 8. Has Brown, the Democrat, up by 8. They think they have a higher one for Brown than the Democrat sponsored ones, the Tolshan one. The weird one that's way over the side has the smallest polling, which how can you do a poll that small? They did less than 400 people. Stock market is up. So, here's the problem when people say that. It's a silly, dumb thing to say. Because let's look at all the presidents with stock market highs. Alright, well, Trump second term. Biden. Trump first term. Bush first term. Clinton first term. You see where I'm going with this? Having a stock market high as a president is not very impressive because over time, through the lows and highs of the stock market, it has a slow tendency, has a overall tendency to go up a little bit over time because more people are being born, more people are joining, more people are buying things, more people are making business. So as time goes on, the stock market will go up through all its highs and lows. So saying that the stock market highs does not impress me. It doesn't say, it's not a measure I'm going to ever assign to the president. Because if every single president of my entire lifetime has had all-time stock market highs, I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of a meaningless metric then. I put about 10% of every paycheck into the stock market. And I'm not seeing any better returns under the Trump administration that I was seeing in the Biden administration. I'm seeing about the same amount. Actually, a little bit worse. Because I'm highly diversified. And I'm not have all my stocks in AI. In a giant AI bubble. So, yeah, it's about the same. Yeah, it's not. So I don't know why you bring it. You brought it up. I didn't bring it up. I don't know. Now that I'm looking at this Ohio more, the only ones that have hustered up are, well, that was from last year. Okay, so I'm not going to know everything from but the last few months. Brown up 4, Brown up 2, Hustered up 1, and then we have this weird outlier, Hustered up 6, Hustered 3, but then Brown 8 from Fox News. Fox News holds the saying the opposite. How many people got rid of Starlink? Are you talking about the SpaceX IPO? Is that what you're referring to? Let's see what... It's down 28%. SpaceX, it released at like 210. It is down to 156. since its release. Oh, you actually interviewed with Hussar? I don't know much about that guy, but looking, so the polls have Brown up like 2, but like I don't know how they're still pretty early. But where's Ohio? Prediction markets. I don't really trust prediction markets, but I guess it's a new thing to look at. They're kind of high on Ohio. So, out of all the battlegrounds, Maine's up, Ohio's up, Alaska. Last time I looked at Alaska, it was wild. At the G7 summit, Trump smelt so bad Macron had to lean over and tell Trump to go to the bathroom. He also made him sign the treaty at Versailles, which was really kind of a fun thing. I think the IPO was 160, 165. Peak was 110 for SpaceX. Yeah, I think it's now fallen to 150. It's down 26%. Yeah, they had a little bit of burst at the initial IPO release. People got excited because, hey, it's a new IPO. It's really exciting. A lot of people jumped in, and then all the pre-investors bailed the F out. Everyone holding on that stock bailed out so quick. Trump continued and ignored where Macron was pointing, where the battle was. I'd have to see that. Yeah, he's definitely not all there anymore. There's his brain and his body is definitely betraying him. Alaska Senate polls. That's what I want to see. Holy cow. What? I didn't know Alaska was this close. That is Pelota up 5, Pelota up 5, Pelota up 7, 5. He's only up 2 in the Democrat poll. Where's the Fox News poll? That's always interesting. Because the Fox News polls are actually usually pretty accurate, but they'll usually be like 1 point higher for the Republicans than they end up actually being. 6 months ago, I think that most thought the Senate was still going to be read in November. Yeah, that's what I can't believe the Senate is in play right now. I'm like, oh man, there's so many red districts. There were so many, like, most of the Senate up for election this time was like deep red states, like all like the Bible Belt, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, and then like the Yellowstone enjoyers like South Dakota, Wyoming, Idaho. But holy cow, it's looking rough. Alaska, in all the polls, she's ranging anywhere from 2 to 7. Sullivan hasn't been up in the polls since August 2025. Oh, somebody's jumping up. I accepted you, but it's not wanting to load. All right, there we go. Hey, how's it going?
Yo. Hey, how you doing? So your prompt. So
Yeah.
yeah, why do you think they can be trusted or not?
No. Just through historic evidence, I don't think the Republican Party has shown their ability to manage the economy in any certain way.
Why not?
In any way. Okay, well, we can look at... Usually the economy just runs a little worse on the Republicans, and they're more prone to recessions. They don't seem to handle spending very well. They like to talk about making cuts and things, but they seem to drive up spending while cutting surpluses, so they can't usually handle the
Well,
actual.
hold on a minute. What do you mean drive up spending?
They like to deficit spend. That's the only time they get any real stimulus while cutting tax revenue. That seems to be their only play at making any kind of
Well,
economic
tax revenue
moves.
increase.
They haven't had a tax revenue
It did.
increase.
So, like TCJA, for example, the tax revenue increase. And I think you're conflating two things. You're conflating deficit with spending. Deficit increase is not necessarily a spending increase.
But they did have spending increases
In what? When?
this time around. They've
They had
the
a deficit increase.
no, they had also had a spending increase.
In regard to, like, what are you talking about?
Like DHS got a giant boost, the military got a giant boost. A lot of
Yeah, but they cut tons of federal workers. They cut tons of USA.
yeah, and
they
it didn't
Trump.
match the spending increases.
The spending increases in the Pentagon and
And the Pentagon and the
Are you talking about,
DHS.
you're talking about 2020. Are we going to talk about 2025 or Trump's first term?
I'm talking about
both.
I'm talking about this one right now. That's going on right now.
There were some spending increases and there were some spending decreases, but
Yeah, and
to say that tax
the
cuts
spending increases were not outweighed, or were not. Okay, the spending decreases were not outweighed by their spending increases. And
that
then they
true?
also cut the tax. They also cut taxes.
yeah, which is positive. Most people would consider that to be positive.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Plus
it's really, if you want to call deficit spending really great things. I mean,
It's not. You're conflating two things. Deficit spending is two different things. Increasing the deficit is not the same as spending. There's a difference between increasing outflows and decreasing inflows. So when you have tax cuts, you're decreasing inflows, which is, yes, deficit increasing, but you're not necessarily increasing spending. So you're just conflating two things.
okay, so DHS was increased by went from 600 million to 64 billion. That's a almost 100-fold increase.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up on the side.
Or no, sorry, that was wrong. They decreased to, okay, no, actually they decreased in 2026. Okay, then, no wait, no, what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about something different.
Okay, so I'm not gonna look that up.
All right, sorry, I'm getting distracted.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna look it up, but I just don't. I don't understand the claim because you keep conflating two things that are not related. So again, like tax cuts. So like, I don't know. I guess I
Yeah,
understand.
I'm not impressed by the economic output when they're also doing deficit spending. A deficit spend, you can either increase spending, or you could decrease revenue to do deficit spending. And
But
you know,
this
for
is where the.
if
But this is where people are mistaken. Like because revenue. And this is
it
something I don't
doesn't
understand
it
about
doesn't
Democrats.
it doesn't matter. In the end,
does.
you're surging money into the economy either way. So you're taking money out of the government. You're surging money into the economy by taking a deficit into the government. The money
Yeah, but
gets
the
into the
mechanism
economy either
matters.
way.
Yeah, but the mechanism matters. Like conservatives, and this is what I believe too, we generally favor the private sector as being a better spending to increase specifically
But
investment.
yeah,
than
sure,
the
you
public
can have
sector.
that opinion, but it doesn't change that you're doing it through. If you're trying to increase, whether through the public sector or the private sector, they're doing it through giant deficit spending, and we're not seeing any good results coming from that, from the amount of deficit spending we're doing.
I would argue we are seeing some good results. The TCJA saw some great results when you look at investment under the TCJA before the pandemic. It was up like 7% on the year in 2018. It was one of the best years of investment because they put capital provisions and they re-onshored. They gave an incentive to re-onshore manufacturing. So I
We're not
disagree
seeing
with you.
we're not seeing a giant increase in like manufacturing spending though. The private sector is not hasn't we haven't seen a big giant increase in the in manufacturing sectors.
We have. not relative to the COVID stimulus. Obviously, when we passed all those bills under Biden, like the the Inflation Reduction Act and all these other spending bills, which I guess you're supposedly against, there was a ton of stimulus that we went into manufacturing spend. When like literally Biden subsidized a ton of that.
Yeah, they did the Infrastructure Act and the things like that. Which,
so would you consider that deficit spending, quote unquote, positive?
If it's not paired with a tax increase, then yes, it is definitionally deficit spending. But what I'm saying,
no, but that's incorrect, because it was paired with an inflation tax increase, which inflation is the worst type of tax, because you're devaluing your currency in order to accomplish it, which destroys the normal person, which goes back to the Democrat Keynesian economics of, oh, we're just gonna inflate our money supply, destroy the little guy, and all the asset prices are going to increase. So you're making billionaires more rich. So this is why I don't trust Democrats with the economy. I do trust Trump, because Trump tax cuts are not inflationary.
Okay, but I still, we can't we can't even get to the point of that if we can't agree that also tax cuts are also deficit spending.
They're not.
But they are. If deficit go up and you're pumping money,
deficit goes up, but spending did not go up. They're two different things.
All right, hold on.
You keep using the word deficit spending, but you should look up what it means. There's two different words there. They increase the deficit, yes, but they're not increasing outflows, which is spending.
Hold on.
Like, money isn't being, like, you get what I'm saying? Because the thing I don't understand about this is, like, Democrats used to understand this. Like, JFK had some of the biggest tax cuts in the 60s under LBJ as well. I think it passed under LBJ. And revenues went up.
I'm not getting it. That's not even the point of the argument right now. We can't move on to the conversation if we can't agree that just because it's a tax decrease instead of a spending decrease, is going to make a significant difference on the deficit spent.
It is, because revenues went up.
Okay, so what happens? What happens when you do a tax cut? What happens?
So, what, corporate tax cut, a federal income tax cut?
It doesn't matter. In this example, broadly, a general tax cut. What happens when you do a general tax cut?
Depending on the threshold, you end up, a lot of times, you end up collecting more revenue because you brought in the base.
When's the last time we saw a revenue increase from a tax cut?
Trump, Reagan, JFK.
Wait, we didn't see a revenue increase.
Yes, federal income. Yes. Federal income revenue
over after the regular movement amount.
Yes, revenues are higher.
Okay, no. Okay. You know, if revenue is going up like this, and then we have a tax cut and it goes up like this instead, but you're saying,
are you drawing something?
Oh yeah, I am. I don't know if you can see it.
I can't really see that.
Okay. All right. So if revenue is going up like this over time, but you're saying
tax revenue.
Yeah, if tax revenue is going up over time, you're saying that I would say that you would see this if you did a tax cut. But you're implying that you're seeing this.
It's not what I'm implying. It's what the IRS shows. Federal income tax receipts went up.
Yeah,
corporate tax receipts went down, but total revenue went up. Tax revenue went up.
It's always going up because the size of the economy is increasing, the population is increasing.
That's not why.
Okay, but this is the argument we're having. You're saying, look, tax increases is going up, and I'm saying, but this is the line that we were on. And this is the line we are on now.
I don't know about those lines. I don't think that's true.
Okay. I don't think we're gonna get
what I'm arguing is that, and Democrats used to understand this. I don't know what happened. There's an optimal tax rate to maximize revenue if that's your goal. It was higher. It was much too high under Biden, or sorry, under Obama. So you were actually losing out on revenue. When the marginal rates were reduced, it actually coincided with an increase of total tax revenue. And that's in the IRS charts. Like, you can look this up. I don't even care if you use AI to look this up, by the way. Like, you could just
I've never
literally
used
look up-
AI. I don't even know how to use it. So I don't.
Okay, whatever. Just Google it. Did total federal tax revenues increase or decrease with the TCJA? You can like literally just look this up.
I'm just gonna look at the Federal Reserve numbers.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I don't even have a doubt that but that's not even the argument I'm making. I'm not saying that the tax revenue would go up or down. But
Okay,
I don't
so
think
what's your argument?
Okay, so
Yeah, go ahead.
so first, I don't think like this is the curve that we're making. It's always still going up, but now we have moved to a different lower like standard. But that's still not the point. But we can't come to an agreement of saying like pretending that tax cuts are not, because when deficit spending, that's exactly what we're doing.
Yes, they are deficit increasing. That's not, but they're not considered spending. It's two different things.
Yeah, I know. I understand that they're two different things. That's not the argument I'm making.
Okay,
Alright,
can you
okay.
rephrase your argument then?
The effect is generally the same. Even if you want to say that the private sector would do it better, I'm not even gonna like. I don't need to go down that road. I'm saying that if you're gonna do deficit spending, you can do it through tax cuts, or you can do it through spending increase, or you can do it through like quantitative easing or whatever you want to call it.
Which is bad for everyone else. Yeah,
So
you
what
could do that, but you're increasing your money supply.
Yeah,
and you're devaluing your currency. So we'd rather not do that. So that's why conservatives, and this is the case in every like leftist society. This is why you see places like Europe falling so far behind and Canada falling so far behind the U.S. in terms of GDP per capita, is because they align themselves with the model that you're espousing here. And they
I'm
don't
not.
even
That's not even a model. I'm just saying that is the fact of the matter. You'd say that it's that you like one better. I'm not even making like I haven't even made like a qualitative argument yet.
Yeah, but I can see that you're aligned with the leftist, progressive, Keynesian
This is-
interventionist.
I'm not
you wanna
even
call
there yet. This is just like, hey,
Yeah, but I know where you're going.
well, let's just
Okay, so
deal
go
with
there.
it one
Okay,
at a time.
go where you want to go.
I don't know.
let's play it out.
I've gone down like 6 rabbit holes that I don't even know where we
You want to
freaking
talk
started.
about the economy? I'm here to talk about the economy.
Okay.
I think conservatives, I think the right has a much better instinct than the left on the economy, because they understand that transferring things over to the public sector is inefficient and inflationary. And instead of intervening,
But we're not
they
we're not in a conservative party anymore. What is conservative about the Trump administration besides tax cuts?
well, from an economic perspective, tax cuts, I would say.
Is that it? Is that the only conservative thing? He doesn't.
When it comes to monetary and fiscal policy, I mean, if we're going to talk monetary policy, we're going to talk about the Fed, which is not really Trump. And if we're talking about
I mean,
fiscal
well,
policy-
he wants it to be part of his administration. He wants the
Yeah,
Fed to
he
cut
applies
rates.
pressure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we probably shouldn't
He
do that.
definitely-
Probably.
I think it's mostly political theater, to be honest with you. But yeah, I agree with you. But when we're talking about fiscal policy, that's really the only thing we can talk about is the president, like as far as the president's concerned.
Well, I mean, okay, so I would say in the past I would have agreed with you. I would say in the past I would agree. Like we could argue fiscal policy, and like that would probably like, oh, that's all really the president's going to be able to do about the economy. But when a president does something like flat tariffs on the entire planet, and that's
Yeah,
I'd be like, oh man, that's going to be more inherently inflationary than a spending bill.
not necessarily.
Well, it has been, because if you're doing a tax on intermediate goods and input goods, and you're doing taxes on the things that you're looking, if I wanted to do a tariff to boost an industry, I wouldn't start tariffing the input goods that industry would need to do.
Right, but when we talk about inflation, there's a difference between a temporary asset price increase because of a tariff and a devaluing of your currency, which is more permanent. And I would argue that yes, while tariffs are inflationary in the short term, they can at least be turned off, and there's like a utility to them. As opposed to your currency being devalued, you can't really turn that off. Once you do that, you're stuck with that. That's the whole concept of cumulative inflation, which I would argue the left is much more prone to because of their philosophy on intervention. Whereas the right, yes, they're interventionists with tariff, like Trump is interventionist, but those tariffs can be turned off. Those international layers can be turned off at any time.
I don't saying that tariffs can just be turned off. Like technically, yes,
Well, they
but
can.
the repairing of the damage to the trade relations, are how in 10 years is this going to affect our exports as people go like, oh, I don't really have a trustworthy trade partner right here, and cutting taxes.
Well, have you seen the deals?
The deals?
Yeah.
The only deals that have come out are like talks about the tariff rates. He did a big like
something.
3-day announcement about the deals with England, and all it came out to was like, oh, it's pretty much identical to the deal before, but we've now agreed on a tariff rate for both of us. And it wasn't that.
No, that's not really being fair. They took out a ton of non-tariff barriers, like regulation barriers. There was a whole IP issue. There was a whole data thing with our tech companies. I don't think that you're being really fair.
No, I think I'm being fair.
Well, like if we look at, I don't know if you know any of these sources, but the Congressional Research Service has a whole breakdown of this. It's called Presidential 2025 Tariff Actions Timeline and Status, and it's pretty rigorous. There's a whole table that shows all the deals that were made and all the like kind of the story. It's literally called Presidential 2025 Tariff Actions, Timeline and Status. It just breaks down. I think Table 6 is the one that is the most useful.
Okay, I'm not gonna. I'll look at this later, but I'm not gonna look at all this right now on stream. But
yeah, there's a whole thing for the European Union where it addresses like non-tariff barriers to trade, and there's lots of reports on this. This is not the only one. I can give you like 5 different reports. I don't think you're being really fair to the Trump administration.
There's been a lot of like talk about trade, and there's been like some like, hey, like we'll do this, but no deal has met like pen and paper and saying like, hey, these two countries were agreeing to these trade deals, and there hasn't been talks of, and because first the deal on the tariffs wasn't supposed to get trade deals, and that was never Trump's initial thing. No, his initial thing, he said he was worried about the trade deficits, and he wanted to like onshore manufacturing. He wasn't like trying to get better trade deals. These are.
But if you listen to Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, he explicitly said that
later.
No. Early on, I listened. I follow that guy very closely. If you watch his interviews early on, he said that, and
I think you've come up here talking about Bessent before. Actually, now that you're saying that.
I don't think I've ever been on this live.
No, I think you have.
Unless it was like a long time ago, but
I don't know.
But it would have been early into Trump's administration. But my point with Bessent is like they clearly had this intention from the start. They even argued in the Supreme Court case that any revenue made from tariffs was incidental. It was not the primary focus. The primary focus was to get it was either geopolitical or to get concessions from non-tariff trade barriers.
When was this?
When was the Supreme Court case?
Yeah.
The recent one. They argued. There's a whole thing on YouTube about it.
Okay. The one that was okay. You're talking about the Supreme Court case that like just happened like in February or March. Or
they
whatever.
argued that. I'm saying like they argued that from the beginning.
Oh, okay. Then they did a really bad job of arguing that or bringing that out, because what I heard was Trump say that like, oh man, we have bad trade deficits with Madagascar, so this is not good. Or somebody said something bad, so now I'm going to increase their trade or increase their tariff rate by
His
X amount.
rhetoric was really dumb. I agree with you. Like, but the reality of the utility of the tariffs is something.
And I mean, this
Totally
Supreme Court case was about a year after the,
It was.
an
Yeah. It was
initiation
leading
thing.
up to. Right, but the administration did say their intention with the tariffs from the beginning.
Maybe
I'm not talking about Trump.
you might be able to find Besant for it, but Trump runs your party. He's in charge of this.
But Trump just does a little political theater. Like he doesn't actually say anything.
He doesn't know what's going on. Let's stop playing pretend.
No, I think he just knows that like most people won't follow this. So I think he just says like shit like, "Oh, we have a trade deficit. Like we have to fix it." Like he just says stuff for the masses.
You're doing a lot of lifting there, but okay, that's your opinion. Whatever.
It's his bro. His rhetoric is dumb. Like I'm not gonna defend Trump's rhetoric, but I think that the intention is correct from the administration overall. Because, like, for example, do you think that like here's something that came up with the EU? Do you think it's fair that the EU has quotas for like electric vehicles, or they don't allow Tesla to sell cars because the battery is not made in a certain place of the world, or these like arbitrary barriers to trade? Do you think that?
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't think this is a good idea for the EU, but I don't want to do that by emulating the EU and making our stupid trade barriers by putting flat tariffs on the entire planet.
But when they reduce and they eliminate like custom duties and quotas and like the thing is like it was effective. Like, this is the thing that like destroys the argument. It's like Trump's policy was pretty effective at getting the EU to reduce their non-tariff barriers. And there's a whole breakdown on this, because obviously it's like a pretty layered conversation.
It looks like I'm looking at this from the EU statement, and the steel tariffs are still in place. The flat tariffs still in place. The only thing they've done is agreed to purchase more U.S. energy products and chips, but that's probably because they're having a really hard time getting chips right now.
Are you reading the U.S.-EU Cooperation Agreement on Reciprocal, Fair, and Balanced Trade? Is that what you're reading? The July
I mean, I'm just reading a German article about it. I'm not reading the actual thing, and it's like a breakdown of it. So I don't have the actual document in front of me now.
Yeah, I mean, there was a ton of concessions on market access, seafood, agricultural goods, quotas, pharmaceuticals, automobile, blah blah blah. Like this is like a really long. I'm not gonna like just sit here and read to you, but like it's more complex than people are willing to give credit for.
The only tariffs they were seeing removed was the retaliatory tariffs.
Well, you're saying from the EU?
Yeah, the removal
Would
of
you consider that positive?
Well, that's a zero sum. If they're only right now removing the retaliatory tariffs, then if no tariffs were in place, then these tariffs would have never existed anyway.
Yeah, but there was also a proposal for, I'm reading here, proposal for reducing or eliminating custom duties and opening up tariff quotas for certain imports from the U.S.
And it also has a sunset clause. It's only going to last like till the end of 2028.
Well, sure, but do you think that it's incumbent on the U.S. government to
and yeah, so this is, but this is the problem I'm having is like we're saying that he's getting all these trade, but he's getting like these like temporary and kind of like, oh, we'll do a little bit of the stuff to kind of just like all this seems to me is that they're just gonna be like, all right, we're just gonna buy it at a time until this crazy man's gone.
And that might be true, and a Democrat might come in and let it all go. Then there's nothing we can do about that, but
they haven't made any deal. He has made no deal. This is just like, oh, we're gonna temporarily do it like this for a while. That's not a trade deal or big concessions. These are just most of this is just negotiations on the tariffs that didn't exist until he started the tariff war. Like 95% of the things in here.
I I disagree with the assessment. There's like many concessions that were made.
All right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. In an ideal world, we have no tariffs. Like, ideally, no country has tariffs on each other. Like, I'm sure we can agree on that, right? But
Yeah, I'm for maximal free trade, but like, I mean,
me too. Me
if
too.
if somebody wanted to make an argument for a tariff for like some kind of like oh, we really need to protect like our uranium production, like okay,
Like some national security
some national
thing. Yeah.
security thing, or even if you wanted, I might say you could like oh we want to really bring up to make this widget in our country. Maybe we'll do tariffs temporarily until this industry kind of gets off the ground. I would hear that argument. I wouldn't be the biggest fan of it, but I wouldn't get on TikTok railing against it.
Yeah, I mean, we probably could agree there, but I think that the Trump administration, he's like he seems to be like very like kind of techno nationalist, like where he's trying to protect a couple key industries in energy, rare earths, AI chips, um, that kind of thing. Like
I don't know. I think you're
things
giving
related to
him
national.
too much credit here because if he wanted to do that, if that was his concern, then like okay, let's do tariffs on those things. Let's not do tariffs
He
on.
did.
But he did
He
no. He did
100%.
tariffs on everything.
Well, in addition to, but he literally has taken stake, and those are all the companies that the Trump administration has targeted and taken stake in and supported, and those the highest amount of tariffs on China are specifically in regards to like that's the whole chips and science thing. Like Chips and Science Act predated Biden because there was a whole tariff thing with China that made it economically more viable. There was a whole.
Yeah, but
I think Biden even increased those tariffs. By
yeah,
the way,
the Chips and Science Act. It wasn't just saying, "Oh, I'm going to tariff everything and hope these chips come." It was like a series of things in order to achieve a goal. They're like, "Hey, want to onshore chip manufacturing
Yes.
for security reasons," and it's like, okay, we want to make that reason. So they paid tariffs. They also paired it with like incentives, with tax incentives to
Yes.
chip and like. If Trump was concerned about
Exactly.
these things, these are the things that I would look for him to do, and I would look to him to do it through legislation and not, executive order.
But he did. That's what I'm saying. The Chips and Science started back during Trump's first term. It was called
If you're saying
MS-2.
if you're saying that like the Trump tariffs on the China chips was the inspiration or like was the same as the Chips and Science Act, I'm not gonna buy that.
No, I'm not saying it's the same. I'm saying
Or
that
even like
these were-
equal in any way.
No, I'm saying that they're on the same path. Like the trajectory for essentially this protectionist policy when it comes to certain industries started before Biden. It's not like it started with Biden.
I'm not. Yeah,
was
I'm not.
like-
I'm not saying
And
that
it was
did.
and by the way, I'm not saying it was all Trump. It was actually bipartisan. It was introduced, I think, partly by Chuck Schumer and some Republican. I forgot who it was. So I'm like, all that's to say is that there's a clear messaging from both administrations that they're pretty protectionist when it comes to certain industries as it relates to national security.
Yeah, I don't know who you're arguing with. I'm not arguing that point.
No, I'm not arguing. I think we have find agreement there.
Yeah,
But I'm just saying
I'm
that-
just saying like the Trump way.
Tariffs play a big role there.
I would maybe. I would say they could play a role. I wouldn't say a big role. I would say they would be a part of the
What
puzzle.
other international tool would you use? Because yeah, you can subsidize domestically, but that's only domestic. Like there's not really another, unless you're willing to put a sanction on China, there's not really another tool that you're going to use aside from tariffs in order to get in order to align the incentives, right?
Yeah, I mean that would prevent China. That would like reduce their chances of selling to us, but not anyone else. So yeah, that might hurt them a little.
But it also might draw investment, like for manufacturing to occur here, which was the whole point of the Chips and Science Act.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I wouldn't argue that if you wanted to do some protectionary thing for specific reason, I would want it paired with things like the Chips and Science Act. I wouldn't like paired. I wouldn't just say like, oh, tariffs, like that'll solve it.
No, not. I'm not saying in isolation. I do think that the Chips and Science Act was supported by both parties,
Oh, yeah,
like broadly.
I would agree.
Like Trump didn't.
Well,
That's like one of the few things that he didn't like strike down when
well,
he got into office.
he couldn't because he does everything through executive order, and the Democrats like to do it through actual Congress.
He
So,
could
like,
stop the spending for things like he did for
he
the.
could do for a little while. Actually, I want to see. I actually got to check this.
Sure.
I just want to see something. I would say the Republicans supported it a little bit. They only got 17 Republicans in the Senate and only 24 in the House to actually vote for the Chips and Science Act.
Yeah, sure. It was literally what? Let's see. It was Senator Schumer. It was called. Well, you have to look back at it when it was called the Chips for America Act. That was Cornyn and Warner, bipartisan. Because it went through multiple renditions before it was actually ended up being the Chips and Science.
I'm just looking at the roll calls for the Chips and Science Act on the
Okay,
Congress.gov.
I see.
All right. So I guess I'm glad we came to an agreement that, we get some protectionary things might sometimes be necessary, and the Biden administration did a better job when it came to the chips. It came to computer chips. I think that was good. I think that was a good way to agree in the end.
Is that what you took from it?
Yeah, he did a much better job. He got the Chips and Science Act.
Yeah. Okay. That is one policy I did support of Biden. To be fair, the rest of the spending, I don't know, up for debate. But it's getting late, so I guess I'll just end it there.
All right, no, it was fun. You have a good one.
It was fun, man. See you.
All right. Going back to, oh man. All right, let's check Alaska. The first cruise missile was tested in Grand Prairie. Hot rod. Agreed. Yeah, and we have a tariff on lumber now, which I think was a really dumb idea, especially with housing going up, except for in Denver for some reason. Alaska's Senate race polls. Holy cow. That was not what I was expecting to see. Pelota's up in every single poll. Every single one. And she's up in all the prediction markets as well. Okay, you know what? From +2 to +8. That's not what I was expecting. Biden did way better on everything. You know what, Hot Rod? I agree with you. We had more job creation. +3. I can't believe Alaska is looking that good. Mapping guidance for cruise in many places made in Ontario for one. I'm not sure what you're on about. Big Bud, the mapping. Canada. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've talked to that guy a few times. I don't know if he remembers me, though. I think it might have been in another live, though. Because I remember that we got into it on Besant before. Somewhere else. Or somebody that sounds just like him and still likes Besant, which... I didn't think there was that many people left. I don't know. Besant is a weird guy to me. Because in all... In all a sane world, you would think Besant would be a smarter guy. He's well educated. He has a happy family. His husband is real nice, but then he's just like this weird dude when it comes to Trump. Yeah, he's a giant salad. It's creepy. It's creepy how Besant like turned. Saying Trump should, yeah. The trade deal with Canada, it was even stupider. It's like, so we had NAFTA, and Trump wanted his name on NAFTA, and so he goes, okay, we're gonna do a new NAFTA that I'm gonna do. So they do a new NAFTA with Canada and Mexico. You know, I was like actually okay with I'm like, okay, fine, put your name on it. It's not that different from NAFTA. Any push towards more open trade with Canada and Mexico, I think, would be a good name in our book. And that seems like the case we were on for the last, 20, 30 years. And then he's like, nope, I'm going to blow up my own trade deal with our best trading partner for no reason. It was so dumb. All right. Texas, I think, is even. Paxton's winning about half the ones. Tallarico's winning about half the polls. Oof. They're like dead even in every single one of these polls. 46, 46, 42, 43, 49, 48. Okay. I don't know what I want to call Texas even. Linked to anything against the law. Studied NAFTA at U of our Dean of Economics. What his name is? Cites Brian Mall. Bruce Wilkinson? I do not know the man. Okay, the only thing that comes up is a preacher. Do you have any on NAFTA? What did he say about NAFTA? Looks like he didn't like NAFTA. Ken Paxton was impeached by the Republican Party. Yeah, and he should have been, but they cowered out. The Texas Senate cowered out. He got impeached in the House, in the Texas House, and then the senators just kind of like, we don't want to deal with this. They just thought he was going to go away. Yeah, Paxton is a. I can't believe he won. The Republicans didn't even want him. Trump wanted him, so he won. The Republicans spent $100 million in the Texas primary. $100 million in a primary. Like, what is happening? Where somebody can spend $100 million in a primary and lose. And if he wins, which I wouldn't put anything past a Texas voter. Oh. Canada had 85% free trade with the U.S. before NAFTA. They only solved 5% more with NAFTA. I don't know what the actual numbers are, but like even if that's the case, 5% in like a trade partnership that huge is actually gigantic. That's like, oh, it's only a 5% like increase. It's like, yeah, but a 5% increase, a 5% increase on $100 isn't that much, but on like $100 billion, that's it's more than like some states or countries. Yeah. So MAGA voted for him, which is disappointing. Well, they were, but now what's annoying about like what's going on with Canada is that no party can like be nice to American. It can be like our partner now. Like there's no party in Canada where it's like electorally advantageous to be nice to us, to repair relations, because everyone in Canada's pissed off. All the voter base in Canada is like pissed off at America. So like even when the Trump administration's out, I don't know if it's going to get. I don't know how long is it going to take us to get back to baseline. Nixon did the same thing as Trump after saying that he was dropping all tariffs in 72, and then boom, 100%. Okay, so let's see. What year was NAFTA signed? 1992. So if Nixon had brought it to a similar low in 1972, we didn't get NAFTA until 1992. So maybe 20 years we'll be back on track with Canada. We back to where we started. 20 years of lost trade revenue and partnership. Yeah, but okay, what was the deal, the trade deal before NAFTA? The Canada-United States Free Trade Agreement, Kustuft, I guess. Okay, so maybe only 10 years. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a while. All right, going back. Let's see. Do I have another window open? Oh, yeah. Texas. Texas, I think, is a flip. Let's see. Nebraska Senate race. Osborne. Really? So many in both parties are friends with Canada. Agreement CUSA signed 1998. Year I graduated from U in Alberta with my doc in economics. Well, I don't know what's gonna happen after the Trump administration. Oh, we're just gonna. Is everyone? I really hope Carney's still there. When's Canada's next relationship or next not election? $4 years. Okay, that's good news. If Carney's still there, I think he's smart enough to go. Whoever the next president is going. Okay, we'll chill out a little bit, but that might be electorally disadvantages to him. So he might want to get some concessions out, but who knows? Yeah, that's true. They did just add theirs. That might be good. Canada's parliamentary, right? They must be. They came from the British system. Sorry, I don't know much about Canadian politics. Yeah, Carney at least knows what he's talking about when it comes to economics, which is just absolutely shocking to me as an American. I don't know what that's like to have a leader that knows that could define a tariff. Yes, Parliament. Yeah, I figured so, but I was like, I didn't want to say that and be like, Canada's a parliamentary system, and then just be wrong. Senate race polls. Yeah, I guess I should have figured that because it's Prime Minister Carney. And I think Iowa's even. Did I say state? I know they have provinces. I don't remember. I might have said state. I didn't mean to. Oh, yeah, I just don't know what the Canadian electorate, I can't say that word now, is going to feel about us after this. I don't know, Big Bud. I don't know if you remember Bush. I remember Bush was like president when I was getting into political ages. I was a teenager getting ready to vote for the first time. Well, before that, but I wouldn't say Bush had a very high. I remember thinking, how dumb can we have a president? I can't blame them for feeling the way they do. Yeah, but it's like, what Carney could probably think intellectually, hey, it's probably a good idea for both Canada and the United States if we went back and re-regulated relations and got back on the same page. But how can he do that electorally? Bill Clinton and George Bush are lifelong friends. Yeah, it was different back then. You could be friends with somebody on the other side. It's not like that anymore, though. Alright, I think I got in TikTok jail. Alright, so I'm going to look at this one more time. So, we're at 45. I think North Carolina's a lock. So that's one. I think Maine is looking really good. Ohio's looking so shockingly good. Michigan's easy. Alaska, I think, is looking the fifth best. Texas is eh. Nebraska we won't win, but the Republican will lose. And we'll get another independent. That'll probably caucus with the Republicans. Thomas Jefferson and James Madison both had an estimated IQ of 168. I wonder, how do you estimate the IQ of someone that was alive before IQ was a thing? This is the thing that happened to Republicans that I don't get, is that really pisses me off. So through my whole life, whole entire life, the Republicans were the states' rights party. They were like, hey, you can't tell us what to do. You can't make kids learn math if the states don't want them to. Glenn Beck, the crazy fat guy on the radio, I can't remember his name. All these guys were just screaming about states' rights all the time. And then Trump comes along, and he goes, "Give me all your state voter rolls. You know, give me your voting machines." And at any other time in our history, Rush Limbaugh, yeah, any other time in our history, in the last like 50 years, the Republicans would have lost their damn mind if the federal government came in and told them to give their voter rolls up. And then this time around, they're just like, okay. They didn't put up a fight. They didn't go to court for it. They just gave it to them. If you can fluently use more than 4 languages, your IQ is close to 155. All right, so if I can fluently, I can barely speak English right now. So if I can speak English, that's 1, and I can muddle through some Spanish and German, you know. So a 155 divided by 4 plus 2 halves puts me like 75. Yeah. So I don't know what the Republican Party stands for anymore. Yeah, it was like, I think I got in TikTok jail. Usually I have to like restart it like at least once a night, because every once in a while it's like people will be filtering in and out, and I'll be at like 10 to 20, and then usually I'll say some bad words, and then like it'll drop down to like 4. I should probably just restart. You know, I will. I'll just go ahead and restart. The Heritage Foundation. It won't let me repost. Yeah, I probably got in trouble. It usually, you know, someone says a curse word, or someone says like a banned topic. All right. So yeah, if you're having fun, I'll try to restart and see if I can get some more people in. It's getting a little late, but I'll try restarting one more time. In Puerto Rico. All right. There's one thing he was saying that I wish that last guy I was talking to, I wish I fucking hit it. I hit him on it, but I didn't think about it at the time. He kept talking about like devaluing the dollar. The dollar's not doing any good. It's doing rough right now. All right, dollar versus euro chart. 1 year. Guess it's up a little bit. I mean, I'm too against you. Shut up. Hey, no. Definitely. You like to count your wins, but you don't count your losses. Can't keep saying that.
What's up?
What's up? You can't count your wins and then not count your losses.
Well, overall, I'm 109.
You're 109?
Yeah, I don't debate politics. That's why I'm really bad in politics. I normally debate like ethical dilemmas.
Like what? Like what?
Like abortion, veganism.
I would.
I'm a philosophy guy.
I think those are the two things I would never debate. Just because veganism is like, it's so hard to defend not being a vegan.
Yeah, no. So the main logic they'll use is that by your moral framework, it's more intuitive to be a vegan. So I just say I'm a cannibal. They can't, because if you have no morals that abide by veganism, they can't claim it's more logically intuitive to be vegan.
Well, I mean, this is how I look about it. Like the veganism thing is like, would it be if it's not immoral to harm animals, then it's okay to not be a vegan. But it's like, I do think I do have less moral consideration for an animal than a human, but like I don't have none.
Out of every moral framework, it's the hardest to debate veganism just because it's so logically sound. Like by all senses, it just makes sense to be vegan.
Yeah. It's just like,
and like every time you'll have an argument, they'll be like, yeah, by your logic you should be vegan. You're like, oh shit, I concede.
I would say like I do have like there'd be a threshold. Like I'm never not eating chicken. Like
same, bro. I mean, bro, I like animals. They're so tasty though.
Dude, like I would give up eating pigs just because like I realize that they're smart. I try not to eat pig just because I'm like, all right, they're pretty intelligent. I think they're like they've reached high enough to like, all right, I think you're smart enough not to be eaten. But like I worked around chickens.
Yeah,
they're the stupidest. They're just a box of meat with like a brain that tells them to move around and eat the dirt.
I think that's because of how much we bred them to be like that, though.
Yeah, like, but then now it's too late. We can't go back. We can't unbreed them.
Yeah, we just ruined their genetic profile.
Yeah, it's sorry, chickens, you got ruined.
Yeah, because like people think veganism is just a diet, but it's more of the moral framework that they abide by.
Yeah, I won't debate a vegan because I'm like you're probably right. I'm just still not gonna not eat meat. I'm sorry.
Pro-choice is much easier to debate on, especially philosophically.
It's a lot easier.
Because you can just make the assumption like if you give a grape exception, you're pro-choice because you're now giving the choice to someone. And if they want to prove pro-life, you would have to prove that the possibility of rationale is as important of being or having rationale.
Yeah, I wouldn't. It's just like we don't give the consent, like moral consideration to someone like after they died. It's like, why are we going to give them moral consideration like before they're alive?
That's an argument I use. You wouldn't grape a dead body, right? So
no.
Yeah, exactly. So morals still apply to things that are not living, but what is personhood and what does it apply to? Like, do fetuses have human rights? What grants human rights?
Yeah, I wouldn't argue there. And it's just like, so we gotta choose something because like we're not gonna call a woman that has her period a murderer. So
exactly, what's cells are alive, right?
Yeah, the cells are alive, but like I didn't kill a bunch of skin cells right there.
Yeah, what
I didn't commit murder on my skin cells.
Pro-lifers use is they use linguistics to confuse their opponent. They'll confuse human and human. So human relating to Homo sapien, and then human being you get human rights.
Yeah.
Like, because my toe is human, but obviously my toe doesn't have human rights.
Yeah, I wouldn't be convicted of murder if I cut off your toe.
Exactly. So they play semantics. Semantics, I hate semantics so much, but it's what I'm best at, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. That's half your arguments. Yeah,
it's the same thing with you in politics. I'm like, bro, you're good at it, but you despise it.
Answer the question. Hell no. Agreed, Carrie. Agreed. I hope that says Carrie. The text is so small over there.
Yeah.
I got a giant wide monitor, and like the TikTok thing is like this big on my monitor.
What are the specs on the PC, bro?
They're okay. I built it a long time ago.
I wanted to get a PC, bro, with RAM now. I just can't.
Yeah, So I on my credit card, like you get little points or whatever, and I was like, I'm not going to spend any of these points. I'm going to save up for a new hard
Yeah.
drive. I'm just going to for like 2 years. I was like, I'm just not going to spend any of these points. I'll get a new hard drive,
Yeah.
you know. And like I got like $300 worth of points on there. I was like, all right. And I went to go look for a new hard drive, and they're like $500-$600. I was like, what
And
the
the worst
fuck?
part, it's gonna double again in like the next month. It's actually terrible.
So I was like, I guess I'm not getting that. I don't know what I'm doing now.
I mean, shit, put that in a 401k. That's about to be like $1 million by the time you guys.
I don't know if I can convert it to cash.
Oh.
Because it's just like the little. I was like, I didn't know what to do with them. But one of the things like it let you do is spend on Amazon. So I was like, oh, okay.
Amazon of all. That's gotta be. Wait, why are you allowed to spend your credit card points on Amazon exclusively?
There's other things I can spend on, but that was just like one of the things you can transfer them over to like Amazon.
Yeah. I mean, outside of politics, what's your like best debate?
I like to do econ. I'm probably know more about history than I do about economics. I actually finished my history. I didn't finish my economics degree.
I mean, what's it called? I'm like good at the crusade aspects of history, but outside of that, I'm pretty mid.
Yeah, but it's hard to have like debates about history because it's like that didn't happen. Yes, it did. All right, I guess that's the debate.
Oh shit.
I think the only time I got to was somebody was talking about World War II, because everybody has like the dumbest opinions about World War II. They never know what they're talking about.
Yeah, like you could make the argument like a historical debate would be like, would Japan have surrendered because the Soviets invaded, or did they surrender because of the U.S.?
Yeah,
that's a good historical debate.
But it's the U.S. because all you have to do is ask. Ask them. It's not like they weren't there. Like they stopped existing in 1945. They were like, yeah, we were terrified of the bomb. And it was the emperor in his surrender speech to the people. He mentioned the bomb. He was like, we don't have any defensive against this. We gotta stop.
I feel like that's more because you just got the sun dropped on you, so you have to address it more than like. Because it could have been, it would have been majorly the Soviets, but because the bombs were dropped, that's why they surrendered.
Yeah,
they would have surrendered anyways.
It definitely wasn't helping. But here's the problem: it's like this is how people think about the Japanese government. Wasn't like, oh, we have the emperor, and then we have Hirohito, and this and like this. It was more like. We have this faction, we have this faction, we have this faction, and these kind of like merge together. And sometimes it was like this big factional mess, and it was like the factions were sometimes split between the army and the navy, and so even before the bombs, there was factions going. This is over. Like we should probably get out of this, and it's like. Then the bombs dropped, and they were like, "Okay, we're gonna join we're gonna agree with that faction and do it."
Yeah.
And then like the Soviets, and like, oh, maybe that got another one of the factions to go over.
Yeah. I still don't understand why Japan just didn't use Godzilla, right? Like that's the easiest win.
Well, he didn't come around until after the nukes because the nukes made him.
You're right. No, he was alive. He just absorbed the radiation.
Yeah, but then he was just like a little baby, and he wouldn't have done.
Oh, you're right.
But so yeah, even after the bombs, after the Soviet, and after the emperor said we're gonna surrender, there was still factions. They tried to do a coup to stop the surrender. So even after all that, there are still people going like, no, we can't surrender. We need to fight.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. The Soviets invaded before the bombs were dropped, right?
It happened pretty. No, they went after. They did after.
Oh. Are you sure? I think I could have sworn I heard somewhere. Well, this historical debate. This is how historical debates go.
Yeah, let's Google it. Let's solve this. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was after the first.
Did it?
It might have been between them. Okay, all right. When did Soviet Union invade Manchuria? August 9th, 1945.
And then the bombs. Are we even allowed to say that? I think that's why you get shadow banned, bro.
It might. I get August 6th. Yeah, so they did three. They did it. All right, it was between the two.
Okay, yeah. I mean, shit. They saw one bomb of mass destruction. They're like, all right, we got to take advantage.
Yeah, but so that goes back to what. Yeah, I get shadow banned all the time.
Because I got the nature of the topic.
Yeah, so I get it. I'm not too worried about it. Like,
I will say, I was gonna start doing lives, and then I realize I get IQ mocked by like every third person.
I mean, just to say, like, I don't know much about this. Move on to some other thing. Like,
Yeah, I will
somebody
say.
was talking about like, I can't remember what it was, and I was like, I don't know. Just gotta be ready for
Was
it.
good, James.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, what's up?
I think that I should be trusted with the economy.
What?
Same.
All right. So, what's your big economic idea then?
I think we should just print more money.
Ooh, that's
Well,
a good one.
See, we're kind of running into that problem right now. We tried that recently, and just did this little thing called inflation.
We'll just print
Right.
even more to pay off everything. Just
You
print
should
more
see
than
Germany. Germany after the restrictions they had in World War One, bro. That shit was tough.
Oh, that's something I can argue about history. That was all these people that were like, it was inevitable that Germany was going to rise up. Then the Treaty of Versailles was so mean to them, and they were having so much trouble. Bull. Their inflation spike was over
Yeah.
before the Mustache Man. The most of the what are the word I'm looking for? The money the other countries are making them pay. There's a word for that. I can't think of what it's
Debt?
called. No, but like the I want to say sanctions, but that's not the right word. Like,
It is sanctions.
well, France and Britain were making them pay money, reparations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of those, most of them, 99. I think the only country that wasn't making Germany pay their retributions at the time, because Germany asked us like, "Hey, we're having economic trouble. Can we pause this?" France, England say yes. The only person that said no was the United States. They're like, "Nah, you're still
Yeah.
paying us."
What if we just give all the reparations to fat guys? That would be kind of based economically.
So
You
wait, what
agree?
do fat guys bring to the economy though?
Yeah.
No, like you just give them reparations for like all the body shaming. Not fat women though; they're annoying.
Okay.
The truth and a new.
Wait, Henry, are you like a socialist?
Probably not, but I don't know what that word means anymore.
I'm voter. There's so many variants now with how
It's
broad
it's a
the-
meaningless phrase. This
Yeah.
people that are saying like, they'll say, "I'm a socialist. I want a public option." So that makes me a
Yeah.
social. I'm like, government doing like welfare kind of things. That's not really socialism.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, "I want billionaires to pay more taxes. I'm a socialist." I'm like, that's not really socialism.
Do you
either.
believe in private property?
Yeah, but the thing is,
And you're a capitalist to some extent.
That was the question.
no, but he's right. That should be the question. But
It
here's the
should
thing.
be?
Yeah, if you're a socialist, that should be the only question if you're socialist. Here's the thing, though. I'm fine if somebody wants to start, like, a publicly owned entity. Like, I would say, yeah, I wouldn't be like, oh, that's a stupid idea. I'd be like, yeah, do that. I would advocate for a system where if you wanted to, go get capital from other people and they get a stake in your business, you should that's fine, you can do that. But if you wanted to get people together and start a cooperatively owned business and the workers own the firm, do that. That's great. I think that would be a great idea. I think people should do that.
I just
But
I LARP economic policies. Like someday when I want to seem smart, I'd be like, oh, I'm a Marxist or I'm a Lenin communist. But then when I want to seem like a pseudo intellectual, I'll be like, I'm a socialist. It just depends.
it's a meaningless phrase that means nothing anymore.
Well, I think there needs to be some competition to drive stuff. It's just you can't let stuff get out of hand. Like the way
Yeah,
it is
because if
now,
there's no
you can-
competition, then product stagnates.
Hey,
But-
I'm New Good Lord. Yeah, but it's
What was the Mongol system where they would like make city states and they would all just pay tribute and like self-govern?
feudalism.
No, I thought the Mongols ended feudalism.
Well, I mean, having tributary states is essentially feudalism. You're like, well, that's a serfs, but I mean, I don't know.
Wait, Henry, history debate. Search it up. Did the Mongols end feudalism or like practice feudalism?
I would say they changed its form, but I mean, like city states and vassals and tributaries and Caesarians, that goes so far. They stole that from the Persians.
That's low key the method though. Like make every region self-govern, just appeal to a higher body when disputes happen.
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to have federalism, but I mean,
What's it called? America's federal and state laws. It's really weird because like, the green plant, for example, like it's so socially frowned upon in such areas, but then like so open in others.
Yeah, I mean that should be the issue in a federal system. It's like, but
Yeah.
that the states get to do most of the law deciding stuff, and then the federal
Yeah.
government kind of like regulates that and like
Do you think
disputes.
the federal government still is holding like as much power as it used to have? Like,
Oh, it has way more than it's ever had in its entire history.
actually,
Yeah.
what about like the I forgot who, someone in Cali was like, yeah, bro, we don't listen to you anymore.
The states still have okay. So this is
Cali
all
has more
it's all
leverage, though, I
it's
would
all
say.
relative though, because
Yeah,
I'm talking about like in America, the federal government
Yeah.
is stronger than ever. But if you want to compare it to like some other countries around the world, then like the federal government, I guess, might be weaker in comparison to those.
not just America. I'm talking about.
Yeah, then the federal government is more powerful than ever, and definitely more infringing on states' like constitutional rights than ever before. Like I was talking about this earlier. Like Trump came in and he was like, "All right, we're going to take all your voter rolls." He tried to do this before in like 2019, and even the Republican states were going like, "You can try, you can sue us," and we're still not doing that. And then this time, all the Republican states just said, "Okay, here you go."
But
It's
what do
like,
you think about the
what?
vetting of that one act? I'm forgetting the name. It's blanking. The one that allows Republican seats to like gerrymander in the South.
Oh, the
Voter Rights Act.
it's like Voter Rights Act, but
Yeah.
the one that happened after like the ending of like segregation and all that.
Yeah. But do you think that was because of the increased power by the federal government?
Well, yeah, the Supreme Court has given they've given the executive branch an insane amount of power.
Yeah.
Like it's gross. They've taken power away from the legislature and given it to the executive, which I found pretty disgusting. Yeah, but that's a law passed by Congress. The Supreme Court gets to say the constitutionality of stuff. They get to say yes, they don't get to say, "Oh, this isn't necessary anymore." That's not the job of the Supreme Court.
And for the people that are supposed to be interpreting everything that our country runs on, I bet like any poli-sci major would fry them.
Maybe, I don't know. I think Alito's evil, but I think he's smart.
He's like an evil mastermind.
Yeah, because like he knows exactly what to say, because depending on the ruling, he can argue both sides of an issue because he does. He'll he'll say like, "Oh, that's a major power or what's the word? I don't know. I can't remember all these law terms. I'm so bad at the law terms. But major decision doctrine, major powers doctrine. I can't remember what it was. They're like, "Oh, this is something that Congress needs to decide." When it's something that he wants to rule on and he doesn't like, oh, he'll let go out the window, because they made decisions on gerrymandering when Democrats were trying to redistrict, and they said, "No, you can't do that." And then they would do the same thing for the Republicans, because they say, "Oh, we can't rule on this because of major power doctrine," and it was just evil.
I will say, you're probably right. You're smart. I just don't really see the aspects in which the federal government is becoming more powerful. Because, like, what was it like a year ago where Texas started like revolting?
Yeah, but they'll put on some shows. But like, I'm not saying like the states have no power, but
Yeah.
they're definitely losing power.
Oh well, yeah. Because most, like, for example, the blue parts of the South, they got just wiped out and exterminated because of federal power. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's because of the bigger states just have more leverage. But like, bro, Oklahoma ain't doing nothing, or like Rhode Island is fried.
Yeah. Oh, the gerrymandering. When you ever hear a Republican complaining about freaking gerrymandering, I don't know what they're talking about. Look at what is it? What's the big city in Nebraska?
I mean, land doesn't vote, but like, bro, it's damn sure seems that way now.
They took their biggest city, and they basically did this. They're like,
okay, it's Nebraska. First off, who cares about Nebraska?
but it's gross. They took like, okay, let's say this is their big city, where all the Democrats are.
Henry, before you speak, I'm gonna give you a fun fact. When there's an away game or like a home game at Nebraska's stadium, it becomes like the second largest city in Nebraska for football.
Yeah, I'm not saying like they're really powerful, but they have congressional seats. So they took their big blue city, and this is how they gerrymandered it. They went,
I could run for
the
governor
hell?
of Nebraska and win. Okay, no one cares about Nebraska.
No, you would have to say some crazy racist stuff to get governor of Nebraska.
Okay, wait, so what happened in the city?
Oh yeah. So yeah, look, they took their blue city, and the Supreme Court said gerrymandering is okay, and they literally just went to the center and figured out how many ways they could divide it in the districts, and these districts go on for like hundreds of miles, like in any direction.
Yeah.
So you could live one street over and have
Yeah.
have the same congressman as a guy 200 miles away, but
So
not
this
to the guy
slice
that's
like
a street
a
over.
pizza.
Yeah, it was insane. It was the most crazy gerrymandering I've seen. And they'll because they're dumb. They'll say, "Well, look at Massachusetts. There's no way
Bro.
you can split up Massachusetts for the Republicans to get a single congressional seat."
Yeah.
Because they're spread out, so there's no way you could cut up Massachusetts to get because they're like, there's 45% Republicans. I'm like, evenly spread out through the entire state. There's no way you
Yeah.
can cut it up.
Wait, what are you gonna say to Michael Ferguson in the chat, bro?
States are gaining power. Dobbs took power away from the federal and gave it to the states. That's bullshit.
I was gonna say it's BS, and I was just waiting for it.
Yeah, it's like saying you can gerrymander is not like a states' rights issue.
Deficit is real.
Saying
That's
that
not-
you have control of your own elections, that's a states' rights issue.
Well, the deficit isn't, bro. If it gets handed over and the deficit goes down, there's still going to be a deficit. That's not relevant.
Yeah, but here's also the problem. The Republicans are worse with the deficit. So even if you want
I
to
don't-
say, like, the deficit's a big problem, that either party can't be trusted,
Yeah. No, he's just saying that the fact that it exists is it says you can't trust either administration, but that changes per administration.
yeah, okay. So if the deficit looks like... Okay. So we had Bush, who started 2 wars and made massive tax cuts, which made the deficit go up. And then Obama came, and the deficit was still not great. He was doing a lot of spending, but it was going down.
Yeah.
And then we had Trump won, and it started going up.
I thought Trump one didn't increase it that much because he just did nothing. It was stagnant.
The deficit? No,
Okay.
the deficit went crazy up.
I feel like Trump's increased the deficit a lot, but I think the impact Trump's gonna have is gonna increase it like tenfold.
Oh yeah, between Trump tax cut 1, Trump tax cut 2, Bush tax cut, that's going to be responsible for the vast majority of the debt.
Yeah,
By a
it's
lot.
gonna trickle down though. No, you don't understand, Henry. It's gonna trickle down.
I mean, one day we'll see
One day.
that trickle down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, D, you're right. Clinton was the only one to have a surplus, but you're thinking of it as a on-off switch, because this is what we had. We had Clinton surplus. Oh, actually, let's do it like this, because surplus sounds better. So people are like, we had Clinton surplus, and you're thinking
can you
everybody
put it up
else
a
was
little
like
bit?
this.
Can you put it up a little bit?
Oh,
Thank you, babe.
I'll just cover my face. All right, so we had
No.
Clinton surplus, and then we had Bush deficits, which went way down here, and then Obama came, and he got close to getting back to surpluses, but he didn't get there. And then we had Trump, and then we had Biden, and then we had Trump again. So it's like saying that they're the same because they both have deficits. But okay, here's the Obama deficits, here's the Biden deficits, and the Republican deficits are worse. They're worse, and they're going down. They're going in the wrong direction.
I mean, do you think COVID obviously aided in it, but like, to what extent?
I mean, if there was no COVID, then Trump would look even worse. Like, it wouldn't be as bad, but
Yeah.
a lot of Biden's deficit was also
Yeah.
like stimulus spending.
Yeah, Biden's would have been like way better had it not been for a global pandemic.
Yeah, Trump's would have been better, but he deficit spent. He did his entire first administration deficit spending.
You're literally drawing from your gang. He's not trying to like specifically give numbers. He's just drawing, bro. No one person. That's why it says administration to him.
No tax on tips directly help the working people. Yeah, here's the problem with no tax on tips. Most people can't take advantage of it. because
Most
it's
people don't even claim their Most people don't even claim their tips.
yeah, most people don't claim their class. It's harder to do that nowadays with like credit card tips, but still, yeah, a lot of people don't
Yeah.
claim their tips, and you would have to make so much money in tips for you to make it worth it to not claim, because it has to be then better than the standard deduction, and most tip
Yeah.
workers don't have a lot of like deductions and stuff to make. They could probably maybe do their kids and stuff, so doing a line by line deduction of their taxes wouldn't even be worth it. So
Yeah.
99% of tipped workers aren't taking advantage of this.
Yeah. I will say, correct me if I'm wrong. Don't servers make like $1 an hour in some places just because?
I don't know. Well, it's like they have to pay you like an amount of money plus your tips to make sure you at least reach minimum wage. So I think in most places it's like
that's
$2.50.
scummy. That's
Yeah.
scummy.
I mean, hey, I worked for tips for a long time, and I'll tell you what, like, everyone says like pay your workers a living wage, like they shouldn't be working for. I was like, I would, if they said okay, we're not doing tips, we're just going to pay you
Yeah.
like 50. I would have quit that same day.
Yeah, because tips were obviously the primary source of your income.
Yeah, I think I was like, I did delivery driving for a long time. I at the same place I still work.
Yeah.
I even did it like a few months ago, like because I needed a driver at one of the stores. So I was like, I'll do it, and it was, and like, I made more money in tips than I ever would have gotten paid by them. They could, that I know, I do their books now, so I know how much money they make. They couldn't have paid me enough to like reach that level.
Modality and a normative discussion. Do I know you, bro?
Are you serious? Servers make over 2/3 of their income from tips. That's, what do you think you're saying?
Wait, he might be the alt of a Yeto P3DO. He might be an alt one. I'm trying to remember. Modality? When did I use modality? And I've only used it once against that P3DO, but maybe I use it another time.
Oh, no. Servers make over 2/3 of their income from tips. Yeah, that's not the point, Michael. The point is, we have two ways to do your taxes in America. You can do a line-by-line deduction, or you can do the standard deduction. And if you don't make over a certain amount of money, it pretty much makes no sense to not do the standard deduction.
Yo, Andrew, when did we debate, bro? Why you want an alt first off? Because I debated this one dude that was trying to make the claim that it's morally justifiable for 13 and 18. And I fried him on that.
That's
No, bro, I hear you.
pretty gross.
He was making the argument morality is subjective and therefore societal views have no relevance. I was just like, bro, you're dumb.
That's such a like morality subjective. It's like to humans, and we're humans. So like even if morality is objective or subjective,
I prove morality is objective.
I don't know if you can do that, but like I would say.
So here's how you can do that argument. You can say that it's, for example, it's objectively true that all bachelors are single, right? So all bachelors being single is an objective fact. Therefore, you going against that would be obviously arguing against an objective fact. Something good is something that helps something flourish. So working out is good, even though you get like hurt, you still gain muscle, which is helping you flourish. It's an analytical statement that you can't rebuke. So anything that is bad for you is objectively immoral.
You're begging the question. You're begging a question a few times because, first you're like giving a definition of good that is subjective. So we're getting into you're getting into subjective.
No, it's just a positive. Flourish. Flourish is just interchangeable with positive in this scenario.
I know, but they could make the argument. I'm not even trying to. I'm just trying to help you think that you're arguing. I'm not trying to say you're wrong. But I could say I don't think that's what good. I think good is only the reduction of harm.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
no, twin. I'm not even using my Phil bro terms. That's the thing, though.
Okay.
The argument becomes much stronger when you word big words like presuppose the position of X and justify it. Wait, but yeah, this isn't all for me. Andrew, where did you hear me debate at least? Did I win? Please say I won. Hop on your main, bro.
As a server, I made over 40,000. Then you would end up. Then you wouldn't have a plot or a. Yeah.
The introduction is only 24K.
Yeah, but the no tax on tips provision is only eligible up to 25K.
Yahtzees literally mean nationalist. Yeah, and so that has no relevance. Just because someone claims to be something doesn't mean they follow that. That's probably the stupidest thing I've seen all day.
Yeah, that is the dumbest thing. What? So, is North Korea democratic?
They have votes. They have elections. Bro, Henry, I saw the worst thing today, dude. I was doing Philbro debate. Someone came up, a minor, and flashed the camera, bro. Like, people come up and say slurs and shit all the time. Not like deadass lifted their shirt and we got banned.
How did you do? Like, okay, that's what I'm like.
So,
I would never
we
trust
let them
people.
up thinking they were 18. They were like, "You want to see the 2 cheese pizza?" and then turned on their camera. We got banned. I'm surprised. Well, maybe because you do politics, you get more informed people, or just like normal people.
That's worse.
No,
that's worse. Everyone, I will get more. Oh, I think like once a week I'll have someone coming up and they'll be like, "Hey, how's it going?" and then just start yelling the N-word as loud as they can.
Dude, you get it once a week. Well, I go live more obviously, but I'll get it like 10 times a day. It's actually bad. Wait, Henry, do you ever go on other people's lives or you just do your own?
Sometimes I do. Actually, like, what's funny is when I go on other people's live, I usually end up with, like, I'll get more followers for the night if I go on somebody else's live.
Yeah, but real quick, Michael, do you have any statistic for any of the claims you're making, bro?
Yeah, all right, I'll pull it up right now.
Bro's just saying shit. Just to say shit, too.
A federal income deduction that allows eligible workers exempt up to $25,000 in tipped income.
Ooh. Oh, they're fried. He's saying no tips is up for up to 100K. It's targeted for middle class income.
Yeah, if you made over 100, you would never get it, but only like a certain amount of your tipped income over under a certain amount and over a certain amount would get the no tax on tip income. And for most of the people that fall in that category, it really wouldn't be worth it for them.
And if you make it more
the
than
place that I work
you're
at,
fine, bro.
we have a lot of tipped workers. None of them are getting no tax on tips. All of them are getting taxed on their tips. Every single one of them, because it's not worth it for them.
I know it's illegal, but I just not claim it.
I mean, they probably do. I'm not going to say where are your. I'm not going to say, hey, where are y'all's tips?
IRS. Yeah, not the IRS.
If they hold their, I'm like, if they declare it, they'll declare it. I'm like, if they don't, they don't.
Oh, I mean, maybe they don't get tips. Who knows?
When I was doing it, I declared all my tips because I was on Obamacare.
Oh, you're right. The $1 they make an hour isn't included in the 25K. Bro, even if it was, that's not really changing much, dude.
Yeah, what's funny is even earlier he said they make like 2/3 of their income off tips. It's like, okay.
Bro, so great. You're just supporting our point. I don't really understand. Michael, come up, bro. You're like a commenting keyboard warrior.
No, the guys that are like go hard in the chat never come up. They're the scared. Yeah. They're the scarediest of scareds.
I mean, I go hard in the chat and I come up and beat you. So
you claim all your wins, and then you don't claim any of your losses.
Who made you capitalize the economy, huh?
That was one of your 2 wins. You made me capitalize the economy.
Exactly.
But you don't count all the other times.
Well, no,
you just ignore that.
No, I'm not lying when I say this. Well, first of all, I've never lost to you like in an actual debate.
I don't think we've had any really serious debate.
Because whenever I've had a debate with you, I'm trolling and then I win the trolling debate.
Sure. Yeah.
So, because there's no way I'm actually going to debate you on politics, but I get fried.
There's a lot of stuff I don't know about politics. You probably find something.
I know, because this specific prompt is just so indefensible.
I'm thinking about changing it up because I've gotten the only guy that comes up in seriously debates was up here earlier, and he's the only one that comes up.
And he's the one guy defending what's his name?
Besant.
Yeah.
Because that's his trick. It's like he's like,
Yeah.
Besant is a smart guy, and Besant said this about the tariffs and this. I'm like, he's the only one in the administration saying this. So and
Yeah.
it's like, all right.
Yeah, I will say, if it was anything, the only way I could win this is using philosophy, and obviously I'm not a chud. I don't want to destroy you or anything. So,
If it's meta ethics, I don't want to hear it because I think that's a waste of time.
yeah. So, Michael, what you just did is called an appeal to self. Just because you make this doesn't mean it's anything. Like, bro. Also, can we get a fact check on that, bro?
Dude, I made $16 an hour at my last restaurant. The only state that has separate minimum for tips. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. Like, he's gonna bring and he's gonna bring some anecdote about Arizona and his personal experience.
Yeah, this is fallacies.
And
Who's the Federal Reserve Chairman? Hell if I know.
We got that new one. Oh, I already forgot his name. Who is the new? What's his freaking name? I was just.
There's a lot you don't know.
Kevin
that's why
Warsh.
everyone's in the pursuit of knowledge. Debate is in the pursuit of knowledge. You know that, right?
Kevin Warsh. Yeah. And you know what he did? He didn't lower interest rates like Trump asked him to.
Bro, wait. Here's the thing, Henry. You don't let the money trickle down, all right? It's going to come soon.
Well, if they wanted to trickle down, they would have lowered interest rates. Trump begged
True.
him. Trump was on his knees. He was going crazy on Tuesday. You gotta lower the interest rate. Oh, pal, you're too slow. You're too late to lower interest rates. We got to get a new guy. And then he gets a new guy, and he's like, "No, we're not lowering interest rates."
Yeah, what's it called? I'm still waiting for my Trump phone to come. I'm starting to think it was like a rug pull.
No, they're starting to come, and they're
Dead
just
ass?
yeah. People are getting them.
Oh my God! What about Trump coin?
I think Trump already rug pulled that and got all his money.
Bro, how are you gonna be a billionaire, insider trade, make all this money, and you still feel the need to start a crypto scam?
He's made more money in his presidency this term than he's made his entire life.
Goddamn. Well, to be fair, he was in debt for most of his life.
True.
Like,
I mean,
like
I guess
millions.
like selling the presidency is a lot more profitable than
Yeah.
bankrupting casinos.
Minimum wage plus tips. Yeah, so that's just not true.
Nearly all states pay minimum wage plus tips. Yeah, so what?
No, even if it was the minimum wage or the minimum wage requirement, let's say it's $7.25 federally, they're only getting paid base pay like $1. I know this because I know servers. They make the surplus from the tips that they then factor into their minimum wage.
Yeah.
And then the extra is the surplus.
Most servers will get paid like a minimal amount, and they'll only get paid more is if their average like wage per hour from tips is less than the state minimum wage.
Yeah, exactly. And if that point, if it is that, you're going to get fired, obviously, because you're just not bringing in enough.
Yeah. Edgar, the reason I said so what is because that doesn't help your point, even if your point is true, which is not really, doesn't change anything. But anyway, what's up, Rich Dog?
Hello?
Hello. Are you 18?
Nigga.
See, dude, I
We
told
was
you.
just talking about
I told you.
that.
It happens like once a week.
Well, that was okay. So hopefully we're not due for another one. But what's it called, Edgar? When he says "so what," there's this thing called ignoranta elementi, which is a refusal to attack the argument. It's like red herring, but cooler sounding because it's in Latin. So it's a completely valid critique of your argument. Effectively grown the economy. Consumers aren't doing so well, but they aren't the economy, really.
We
Well, the
are.
economy's always
Wait,
the economy's always going to do at least decent.
The consumer. Well, first of all, the consumers are most of the United States economy.
True.
Is consumer spending?
I mean, GDP's gone up, Henry. What are you going to say to that?
70% of the U.S. GDP is consumer spending. So,
What's the GDP been doing? Huh? It's been going up, right?
I mean, probably it's probably, but you don't want to look. You're not looking for like if it's going.
GDP's always going to go up.
Yeah, it's pretty much actually it looks pretty flat, which is bad because
They're describing Arizona separate wage for tips. They're the only ones who. So we're just not.
No, I'm in Texas, and they definitely do that.
Yeah. Where did you get that from?
Consumers being able to purchase goods is literally the definition of an economy.
Yeah.
True, Andy. Yeah, but if we went, yeah, I guess, yeah, but
Lenin on the PFP, Life on the Line. Name one book by Lenin.
one book by Lenin.
I'm a LARP. I can tell when someone's LARPing, bruh.
Oh, those are the dumbest conversations. Is talking to like tankies. That's the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so brain dead. You can't have a conversation with them about anything because they either don't know anything or they only know their book.
I've read all the books, bro. Name one. Life on the Line.
Wait,
yeah.
You're asking me to name a book?
No, I'm asking Reed Booker here. He literally has Reed in the name. Read books in the name.
He's good. He'll Google it. Don't worry.
Like, yeah. Even Andy says "Stain Revolution," bro. How is it going to take you this long to type out one of the most famous books of all time?
Wait, hold on. I got an idea. I know exactly. Don't answer anything yet.
Is it the same ones he put? The same ones?
When I Google it, the same ones he's put are the first ones that pop up.
Hey, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go, Reed Booker. Okay, wait. Can you pull up and just give us a quote from each one of the 4 books, and then we'll believe you? Like right now. Like, don't pause. Pull up.
Wait.
So come up and give us a quote from each of the books.
Wait, we're gonna pretend that in the United States of America, Lenin is not niche.
Lenin is niche in America?
It's like, why are we acting like Lenin is niche? Like, maybe if you're in Russia right like today, like maybe you get
And
people
why
like we're in history class.
authority over Reed Booker? Because you're a LARP?
Well,
Bro,
yeah.
I've read one book on Lenin. I think I'm more knowledgeable on Lenin than you.
Hey, if he wants to come up and like y'all debate ML,
Come up, bro.
Y'all do it.
Slide up anytime.
Hey, y'all both probably know more about this than me. I'll just referee it.
I'm gonna use like, presuppose the justification for your methodology here. Oh, do that.
I'll be a neutral arbiter. You can come up and debate.
This would be the first time you see me. Oh, he's gone. Oh wait, no. It says there's 2 in the live, yet there's 3 of us. No, you've been quizzing me on books you didn't read and horrible. I told you I read 1. So can you come up and like tell me anything about the books you've read? Since you're a genius and Lenin, he's your profile picture after all.
Is that Lenin?
That's Lenin. I mean, who do you think it is?
I don't know. He's wearing headphones.
Yeah, it's an AI photo of Lenin.
Oh.
Lenin would hate AI, by the way, just so you know. Lenin would despise AI.
That's probably true. Lenin probably really would hate AI.
He would have like said, "Give it to the workers instead," or something. Like, bro, he would like say it's terrible. Yeah, I'm a Marxist. I'm not gonna give you a lesson though. Sort of crazy. Why do you have an AI profile picture then?
What do people say that? Like, it's not. I'm not.
That's
gonna
like saying
educate
you're a
you.
Buddhist and coming up in your Lambo.
Read.
Do you practice anything you read? Like, no, he wouldn't. He would see it another. He would see it as taking the jobs and taking away the means of production for analytical workers. What are you talking about?
Read. Literally, I will be a neutral arbiter. Come up and debate him. Like,
Neutral, come up. Let's debate.
I have no dog in this fight.
Debate me.
I have no problem yelling at him.
Ouch.
You're okay.
I thought you were gonna be biased. I was gonna like.
I will be completely unbiased. I will go. I'll be harder on you because I know you.
Ouch! What the fuck? I was about to slide you a galaxy, bro. I see how it is.
I'm never getting a galaxy. No, you
jobs
can't.
aren't
You can't be a comment
sacred.
warrior. You got to just come up and have your ideas challenged, or
support.
you don't actually believe. If you don't think your ideas can be challenged, you don't actually believe in your ideals.
So
Get out of
come
there.
up, debate me then, dude.
I just don't
Stop
believe
being a
it.
keyboard warrior.
I don't think he actually believes in any of his
Okay,
ideas.
wait, let me pull up Grok AI for this debate. I'm not actually good at debate. I LARP it. Grok save me. Okay, the jobs aren't sacred. We support productive productivity. AI targets white collar work. White collar work? What does that mean? White collar? You productively.
Um,
What? That's just. I guess.
it doesn't matter. White collar work are
Yeah.
workers. They are not the
I mean,
capitalist class. Why would it matter?
it's just red herring. I don't see how this has any relevance. AI impacts every sector of work. I mean, I guess, sure. Henry, it's dark. I'm scared.
Sorry, I was hitting the vape, and I gotten. Apparently, TikTok knows when you hit a vape. I don't know how.
It does. You gotta go blow the smoke off camera, too.
This is
No,
wild.
No, they are not the industrial. They are often petty.
Doesn't matter. They're workers.
Yeah, what are you talking
Doesn't
about?
matter.
Do you know the Leninist idea of work, bro? Like, aristocrats were setting expectations of capitalists. Come up and debate me. I'm genuinely tired of LARP. I'm a LARP too. Let's battle till our hearts go out, bro. Are you American by chance?
I just don't understand why people like. They're so afraid to actually have their ideas challenged.
Yeah. Trenton came up. Why can't you, bro? What's good, Trenton?
What's going on?
How you doing, man?
Good. I just got off a debate with some guy, and I would like to get a few words in this debate and have a nice debate if that's okay.
Okay, what do you want to debate about?
Yeah, I'd like to talk about that President Trump can be trusted with the economy.
Okay, why is that?
Well, I think that obviously right this second you can bring up. Well, inflation is up right now because of the
Yep.
Iran war. Gas prices.
It was
are
going up
right now
before
because of
that.
the Iran war. Well, I'm sorry. What was that?
I said inflation was going up even before the Iran war. It just got accelerated through it.
Right, yeah, and a lot of that was because of the tariffs, but, I mean, we can talk about that, but
Yeah,
I think
I'd
we
love
can
to talk
both
about
agree.
tariffs.
Oh, okay. I just spent the last 30 minutes talking about tariffs, but sure, if you want to, we can do that.
Well, I mean, you mentioned it, so what do you want?
Yeah, no, fair enough. I just really want to talk about President Trump's first term because,
You can't defend
I
the
mean,
second term, of course.
well, I mean, that's not true.
Well, yeah,
It's just that.
it would be a lot. I would also, if I was in your position, I would also like to defend Trump's first term. It was a lot more defensible because he basically didn't really change anything except for do a couple tax cuts, did some deficit spending, made him look okay.
Yeah, I mean, he doubled the drilling on federal land and federal waters. He cut red tape. He gave lots of businesses incentives, tax cuts, like you said.
Yeah, he did.
I mean,
he did deficit spending, which will give you an economic boon for a while at the cost of inflation.
yeah, I mean that's the economy rebate, or not rebate, but you know, the checks that you put into the economy. I can't think. I'm sorry. It's 2:00. It's almost 3. Stimulus packages. My bad. The same thing that Obama did to stimulate growth during the pandemic. But would you like to talk about tariffs?
Okay, you said a lot of weird things. First, where you said Obama and the pandemic, and those things don't go together. But
No. I said Obama gave stimulus packages as well as Trump did during the pandemic.
Obama gave a bailout. When did Obama gave a bailout? When did he give a stimulus checks?
Obama gave stimulus checks.
I don't remember this. In the Recovery Investment Act, he gave some to Social Security beneficiaries that were to hold them over. Okay, I guess that is in some way similar, even though it was about a tenth of the size. But okay. But anyway, yeah, let's go back to tariffs because that was really a non-point.
Yeah, sure. So what do you want to talk about with tariffs?
These are probably the stupidest tariffs that have ever been implemented in human history.
Sure. Were any other presidents tariffs stupid or just President Trump's?
No, there was other stupid tariffs. Probably the and honestly, the president shouldn't be doing tariffs. That's usually Congress's job. That's why the founders wrote it down in Article 1. That was the first thing they wrote down in the Constitution, was that the House of Representatives has power of the purse and not the president, because they didn't want situations like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they wrote it in Article 1.
Fair enough. No, I have no problem with Congress kind of reining in the president's power with tariffs, but
yeah. So here's the difference between the tariffs now and the tariffs in the past. And we did have really similar, really harmful tariffs like this before. It was the Smoot-Hawley Act back during the Great Depression. They were trying to onshore some jobs and some things, and they took it too far, and they did basically the same thing that Trump administration does now. They did big, flat, even tariffs across giant swaths of industry, and it dove us so much further into the Great Depression and probably made it last like 50% longer than it should have has. And in a time when we were starting to make a turn on the Great, they did similar tariffs and pushed us way further back into the Great Depression. And I would say these tariffs are even more stupid because you're doing a flat tariff on the planet. So if the purpose of a tariff is a tax, you're putting a tax on imports to incentivize some kind of domestic production. And you do that with the knowledge that you're going to see a few things. You're going to see inflation, and you're going to see decreased consumer spending and decrease in GDP because of that. But you're doing this because you want to boost up an industry that wasn't boosted up before. This has been the reason for tariffs for the past 80 years. And the Trump administration said, nah, that's stupid. Let's tariff input goods. Let's tariff intermediate goods. Let's tariff our free trade partners. And for what? What did we get out of it? Anything?
20's off the app.
yeah, I'm just fact checking.
Oh, all right.
Fact checking what?
Just that, because I'm trying to get some numbers, because obviously President Trump, just for example, because it's hard to really contribute inflation now to tariffs then, but I think that we both can agree that President Trump had lots of tariffs in his first term.
Wait.
Wait,
You're going to say, are you going to say tariffs are not inflationary?
I mean, I think that we can tell by his first term that they weren't.
Okay.
Because
If a tariff is not inflationary, it didn't.
Finish?
No, because we got to address this point. This is Economics 101.
It's 5 words.
Okay, finish real quick, and then we'll go back to the first thing you said.
I think we both can agree that Donald Trump had lots of tariffs in his first term. He left office with a 1.4 inflation rate. All right, go ahead.
Okay, if a tariff is not inflationary, it didn't work. The point of a tariff is to raise prices. That's its job.
You left the app again.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, it's to raise prices on.
What do you think? What's inflation?
The cost of goods, the cost, or well, really, what it is it's how much our dollar is worth. But obviously,
but it's what you can buy with a dollar.
Right.
Okay, so if we have free trade, I'll even draw it out for you. If we have a normal market and we have free trade, we have an equilibrium price, of the free market. But if you're implementing a tariff, you're artificially raising the price so you can get domestic suppliers in and on the game. That's the goal of a tariff. That's the point of a tariff. So if a tariff doesn't raise prices, it didn't work, because now the domestic suppliers have no incentive to join the market, because the point of the tariff is to raise the price of the domestic market. So if it doesn't raise the price, then it made no difference.
It's to raise the price of imported good. imported goods, not domestic goods.
Yeah,
that
so
are
like
made in
That's the
America.
same thing.
No, it's not the same
No,
thing.
look. Do you
So
do you know what a
give them a
supply and demand?
chance.
Do you know what a supply and demand curve is?
Yeah, I know what supply and demand is.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
this is.
This is what
I'm
I
I'm
can
drawing
barely see
one
it. I can barely see it.
here.
Yeah, Twain, can you bring it up? Yeah.
All right. So what this would be?
And a decrease.
No. This is-
You have a diagonal line.
I
on
just
the
said
side
the
of
supply.
paper.
I just said the supply and demand curve. So we have demand and we have supply. So we usually have an equilibrium point. But if you're in a competitive market, you have a different equilibrium point here, and that means we have a lower price. We have a lower price because we're having competition and we're having free trade. And so what you're doing with a tariff is that you're artificially raising the price. So the equilibrium point isn't here, it's up here.
Explain to me, how does a tariff affect American-made goods? If somebody
Dude, have you been
is-
listening?
No, because you can put your lines and your graphs up, but you're not explaining to me, person to person, how a tariff that we put
Henry, can I butt
on
in,
people
please?
export.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so Trenton, let's say China makes a rubber duck for 50 cents. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they can bring it here for free, so Americans can buy it for 50 cents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, let's say the president says, okay, now we're going to charge you $1 to bring your 50-cent duck in. What happens to the 50-cent duck?
The duck is a $1.50, and then a domestic producer
So,
puts the same
listen to
duck
me.
on the
Listen to
market
me.
for 50 cents, and then you buy the American-made duck instead. What's your point?
Trenton.
So how
So
did
what-
that tariff affect the domestic?
Trenton.
How
The-
did that tariff affect
Trenton.
the domestically made duck? Tell me.
Trenton.
Tell
The
me.
domestic duck was never 50 cents.
Why?
It was 75. You're
Okay,
giving
it's still-
domestic products a chance. That's why you need to raise inflation so that these incoming products can't be as viable as they once were.
You can't just say the 50-cent duck is 75 cents. Why is it so?
I
What?
didn't say...
Trenton, if the domestic duck was 50 cents, then the domestic supplier would have already been selling it for 50 cents.
Yeah, it's 75. It's higher.
That doesn't even make sense.
Well, I
What are you
literally
talking-
a 5-year-old will understand. No offense to you, Trenton. I could explain this to a kindergartner.
No,
with
you
ducks.
couldn't.
I'm using rubber ducks, and you still don't get it.
How does that affect? How does a tariff of a Chinese company affect how
Okay.
much an American?
Why is the Chinese, if we are selling the same good as the Chinese good, why are we buying the Chinese good? Why would somebody buy the Chinese good over the American good? Why would you buy anything for a reason? If you have two identical products, why would you buy
Because
one
it's
over the other?
cheaper.
Exactly. Exactly.
And if you put a tariff on a Chinese company, the domestically made duck is cheaper.
No, look. Yeah. Oh, you're so
Yes.
you're so close. You're so close. You're almost there. You're almost there.
it's not
You're almost there.
cheaper.
So no, Trenton.
You're almost
So
there. No.
listen. I almost got you. I've almost taught you something. So if the Chinese
you
if
haven't.
the Chinese duck is 50 cents and what is all and no tariffs yet, and theirs is cheaper, so we're selling it for 75. Okay. American suppliers can make it for 75. The Chinese can make it for 50. And so
Okay.
the people are buying the Chinese duck for 50 cents. So if we raise tariffs by 50 cents and make the Chinese duck $1, how much are people paying now for ducks?
You're not you. We keep talking about we put a tariff on the Chinese duck. What does that have to do with the American duck?
So Trenton,
You're
how much
not-
was the American duck?
How much was the
Trenton.
50 cents.
No!
Trenton. Okay, Trenton. Chinese duck 50 cents. Agree?
Okay.
That's what everyone's buying it at.
Okay.
Now Chinese duck $1. Agree?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're no longer buying 50-cent duck. American duck 75 cents. Agree?
Yeah, okay, if you say so.
So everyone went from Chinese duck, which was 50 cents, to American duck, which was 75 cents. What happened to price of duck?
That would mean that the Americans are raising their prices.
No! Okay, stop. You're trolling. You're trolling.
Dude.
No tariffs. No tariffs. American ducks sell for 75 cents because that's what they can sell it for. Okay, is that okay?
God.
The
That's
American
fine
company.
with me.
Okay, a Chinese company comes in and they undersell them. They say, "Duck now 50 cent. We can make duck for 50 cents."
We're acting like third graders, bro.
No, see now
Does
you're
that make
changing
sense?
it
No, we haven't got to
before-
tariffs yet. We're not to
let me
tariffs yet.
finish. Let me finish. First, you were saying that the American duck was all of a sudden raising it. Before you said it was 50 cents.
No, you're not
No
paying
one-
attention.
Literally, no
somebody
one
needs to
ever
play this
said it was
back
50 cents
because
for the
you said it
American
was
duck.
50 cents, and then all of a sudden you said, "Oh, the American duck is 75 cents."
I never changed my mind. I even drew
Henry.
it. I'm drawing you. I'm drawing it for you.
Henry, draw a duck. Henry, draw a duck. Let's restart from zero, bro.
You can no. I'm just beating you, and you're trying to. Sit
You
there
don't
and
know
we're-
what- okay,
we're gonna-
look.
We're gonna talk
Trenton.
about.
Wait,
what
you
we're trying to-
agreed with me.
Trenton,
You
don't
agreed with me.
understand it.
Trenton, listen. Why do we'll start over. We're starting over. Why would people buy a Chinese duck over the American duck?
Because it's cheaper.
Correct. So if the Chinese duck is 50 cents and the American duck is 75 cents in the free market, whose duck are people going to buy?
I reject your premise that we're a free market when China has tariffs.
We're in a hypothetical.
hypothetical.
We're in a hypothetical right now. We're in a free market. China has a 50-cent duck.
Why are we debating hypotheticals when it's
Because
so far
you
away from
don't
reality?
understand the
I
basics.
understand it, but you're debating because you know
It doesn't
reality
matter.
contradicts you, so you're making up a hypothetical situation.
Okay,
Okay.
Trenton, let's do Canada then. Let's do Canada. Canada was free trade. Let's do that.
Okay.
A Canadian duck is 50 cents. An American duck is 75 cents.
Which is
What
cheaper?
are people buying?
Wait, which is cheaper and what are people buying?
Yeah, now we have a real world example. Let's go.
No, we don't. We don't have a real world example because
Canada literally. Oh my God.
Trenton, you
No,
know
see
you're
that-
you know you're
no,
about to
you're-
get trapped. So just
no, I don't. Is it
Drop.
worth paying?
If you
the
have any
extra,
pride,
is
drop.
it worth
If you have
paying
any
the
pride,
extra
drop.
25 cents?
no,
to
that's a
invest
different
in
argument.
American company?
Nope. Stop.
Trenton,
Stop being a
if you have
coward.
Any pride.
I'm
If you have
not a
any
coward.
pride,
Then
drop.
answer my question.
You're trying to live in. You were trying to.
Nope.
Live in a
Stop
hypothetical.
being a cow. No, this is such. I'm just seeing your level of income. If you can't handle this, then you're lost. Okay. Canadian duck 50 cents, American duck 75 cents. They can make it for 50 cents. We can make it for 75. Who? Don't run,
He's going
Trenton.
to ChatGPT, bro.
No, I'm listening. I'm just fact checking that Canada doesn't have
How are you
tariffs
gonna
on
fact
us.
check ducks?
We're talking about a fictional market here.
Because you said because you said we're going to use a real world example.
yeah,
and
Canada,
then you won't.
Canada,
Then you
go
won't
Oh my
say
God.
Canada. So I'm making sure that Canada doesn't have any
Let's
tariffs
make
on
sure
us.
Henry. Let's just make sure for him. Go search up Canada, then come back to us once you realize Canada.
It doesn't even matter because we're talking about the American market. We're not even talking about
Bro.
so the Canadian tariffs wouldn't matter.
Henry, bro, just help the man out.
Canada does have tariffs on us.
They do now.
Okay, now it does. I'm saying we're going before tariff. Before tariff did that.
See now you're just trying to live in a hypothetical because you can't beat me.
You're
over
such
the
a
was
head.
coward.
3
You're such a
years ago.
coward. If you
It
can,
was
this
3
is such.
years
No,
ago.
wait, hold on. If you can't answer this, you're a coward and you know it. Canadian.
No, you're trying to debate me in a hypothetical
No.
world and not in a real.
This
life
is
world.
just an example. If
It's not. But the example doesn't matter.
Dude,
because you don't understand. You don't understand.
It's not
Dude,
You
reality.
don't
tariffs cause
understand.
You're debating
You're a
something
troll.
that isn't
You're a troll.
reality.
That's because you're
debating
scared.
something that
You're
isn't
scared.
reality.
You're
You're
listen.
debating something that isn't
Henry, I'm gonna explain
reality.
this like he's a 1-year-old.
Let me have 5 seconds to tell
No,
you what I'm doing.
I'm not. You're
This is
no.
what you're
I don't
doing.
give a crap what
No,
I'm doing
no, this
because
is-
you're
no,
too
this is
scared
what
to
you're
answer
doing.
my
This is
question.
what
You're
you're doing.
running. I don't care what I'm doing. You're running.
I'm not answering
You're
it because
running.
it's not- it's
You're
not a real
running.
life
It doesn't
example.
matter
It's
if it's
not
real
true.
world. It
It's
doesn't
not
matter.
true.
It doesn't matter.
Trenton,
So
let's say I have
if
Hot
I
Wheel.
said that, let me
Trenton,
talk
let's say
for
my
5
friend
seconds.
brings me Hot Wheel. They're
Let me
Hot
talk
Wheels,
for
they're
5
offering
seconds.
me 2 candies
Let
for
me
it.
talk. Let
okay.
me talk. This is like me saying this. Let's say hypothetically, Kamala Harris says that she wants to kill all the Jews.
Whoa!
Would
What? Are
support
you
Kamala
seriously
Harris?
gonna say that on TikTok Live? Are you dumb?
We love TikTok
No.
Shop. We love TikTok
No,
Shop.
then
No, don't say that
would you
again.
answer that
No,
question?
stop. This is
So,
not. This is.
Trenton, Trenton, do you know what analogous means? Do you know what an analogy is? Define an
The
analogy.
question that
Define an
you,
analogy
the
first.
question that I asked that I won't repeat. Would you answer that question?
Trenton,
I
define
could answer that.
analogy.
Would you answer that question?
Wait, do you know what no? We're not answering that. We're not doing that subject.
Trenton,
We're not.
Because it's not true. And it's
Define
No,
not
I'm not.
an
I'm not saying that because
Well,
I'm
you're
on
a
TikTok
coward.
Live.
Now you're a
Trenton,
coward. Now you're a coward.
Trenton, Define
coward.
analogy.
Do you know what an analogy is?
I don't know the textbook
How old are
definition.
you?
Do you know what an example is?
I'm 19.
Okay, do you know what an
You're
example
19.
is?
Yeah, I know what an example is.
Okay.
You graduated high school, and you don't know what an analogy is.
The kids are cooked.
I don't know the textbook.
No,
I-
Henry,
I-
I'm 18. Do not lump me in with bro. All right, chill on me. First off,
Okay, so Trenton, this is an example. So
It's not an example because it's not the same as what we're
It's
it
doing.
doesn't matter.
Of course it matters.
Why?
Wouldn't it matter?
So okay, fine. Canadian lumber. This was a real world example. I don't have the exact numbers, so I'm going to use some round numbers. Okay, is that okay? If I just use some vague numbers, just so we can get through the example.
So again, why are you debating hypothetical realities and not the reality that
This
we're
is
in?
what happened. We were importing Canadian lumber
You're not
for.
telling what happened. because
We are.
I'm just
We
gonna
are.
use some
If you,
round
are you,
numbers.
what,
2008 happened because it was in the past.
why are you
What
so
is your
scared?
argument?
Why are you so
I'm not
scared?
scared.
Then
Why,
Wait,
why are you
Trenton,
so
Trenton,
scared to
did
answer?
2008
Why are you
happen?
so scared to answer what I asked
Trenton,
about
did
Kamala
2008
Harris?
happen?
It's because it's not true. Of course, I'm going to lose a debate about a hypothetical
Hey, wait,
situation
what?
that helps.
You're not
you.
even
A
arguing
hypothetical
anything.
question.
You're so scared.
What is your
I-
point? You've just been denying that tariffs cause inflation.
It causes inflation.
Wait, you
if
were
you're
going to
buying,
search up numbers,
if you're
right?
buying
Go search- wait, no.
imported goods, if
You
you're
kept
buying
leaving the app. You
imported
kept
goods,
leaving the app to search up numbers, right? Go search up. Do tariffs cause inflation? You kept searching to search numbers, right? Just
Okay.
search that up.
This is I'm not. This is not a hypothetical. This is economics like 101. High school kids learn this.
Dead ass.
we can talk. It's economics 101, but it's
Trenton,
not reality.
search it up.
Okay,
because it's
Tara-
economics doesn't mean
Trenton,
it's reality.
here, let me tell you a secret. If a tariff doesn't raise the price, it didn't work. It didn't do its job.
It doesn't raise every price.
But look,
that's like saying.
That's why I'm trying to give you an example because you don't understand. No, it stops.
Trenton,
Everyone stop.
listen.
Everyone stop. This
That
is
would
why.
be like-
No, I said everybody stop. Why are you still talking? I said everybody stop.
Because you're not stopping and you're everybody.
Yeah, this is my life. Yeah. So
Can I make?
no. I've been trying to get out this same sentence for like 10 minutes now. Jesus Christ. And you keep talking because you know it's going to be bad. So this is why I'm trying to give you an example, because you have a misunderstanding of why the tariff would raise the price. And you have this problem here that you're missing this vital point of information of how a market will work. And I'm just
I
trying
know
to.
how a market works.
We'll see. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to do just a little question for you to see what your level is. So to see if we're on the same level of understanding of markets. Okay.
But then you have to let me talk a little bit. Okay.
Okay,
Is that a deal?
I'm going to ask you a really simple.
Is that a deal?
Sure. I'm going to ask you a very simple
Okay,
question.
sounds
So,
good.
if Canada was importing lumber to us at, let's say, 50 cents, and American suppliers were like, we don't like this because we can make wood at 75 cents. So, people are buying the 50-cent wood. Is that like what?
Yeah, that would be true. Yep.
That would be true. So, the United States government came in and they put a tariff, and they put a 50-cent tariff on that Canadian wood. So, what price would the Canadian wood be?
$1.
What price would the American wood be?
I think you said 75 cents.
So, what price were people buying it at the beginning?
50 cents.
And what price are they buying it now?
75 cents.
Round of
So
applause. Round of applause.
We got there.
But is it
We
my
got
turn
there.
now though? Is it
So,
my turn now?
what happened to the price?
The price increased.
Oh my God, we did it!
But
baby.
it's inflation.
Henry, how long did it
On
take us to do that?
The price?
22 minutes and 10
price?
seconds.
No,
Goddamn.
that's not true because that would be like okay. Now am I allowed to talk now?
Yeah, go ahead.
The price of the American wood never increased. It never was inflated.
It doesn't
It
matter.
was always
What is
75
inflation?
cents.
Trenton, what's inflation?
It's how much our dollar is
Hey,
worth.
so
And our
if
dollar is
I'm going to the
worth
store,
same-
I'm going to the store
I
to
thought,
buy.
I thought I was allowed to talk.
Yeah, and now I'm helping
Henry,
you. I'm,
Henry,
but
you know what, let's-
All right, go ahead,
our
go ahead,
dollar
Trenton, go
never
ahead.
changed value.
Trent,
Go ahead.
The dollar never changed value. It was always 75 cents. The 75 cents was never increased.
Wait.
It was never decreased.
Okay, now I understand.
We always got 25 cents back if you paid $1 for it.
I understand the problem now. I understand what happened. You've made a mistake because when I go to the store now, I was buying wood for 50 cents. But what am I doing now?
Paying more, which is a separate argument.
Which is?
Which my separate argument would be that it's better to buy American wood and pay the extra.
Yeah, but that's a whole separate argument.
I just said it's a separate.
So
argument.
Here. I'll tell you what. I'll write it down so we can come back to that. So we don't need to talk about that right now. I'll come back to that.
Sounds good.
All right,
but
better.
I would so I'd like to keep this really civil now. Now that we've, do you understand that the reason I wasn't answering the question is because it wasn't reality. We don't have a free market. And no matter how I answered the question, because it wasn't reality, it would make your side win and not mine.
It doesn't matter.
So he gave Canadian wood because
how does
Canadian wood
was
literally open market, bro.
It was not. We just established that Canada had tax.
They did not. They did not.
In the past.
They didn't.
The Great Depression happened because it was in the past. That is such a dumb argument, Trent. I love you, Trenton. You got to go back to high school. I don't know how you graduated.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if if Canada had tariffs. The only thing, because we're talking about the American market for wood. If you want to talk about the Canadian market for wood, we could talk about the Canadian market for wood.
Dun 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 dun. I love that Kanye song in Paris. Dun 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 dun.
So,
yeah, Henry. This thing causes you so much stress, bro. You
gotta
I'm
having tons of fun.
But
you gotta lighten up, bro.
Do you understand why I wasn't answering the question when it's...
Yeah, because I know it made you look... I really don't.
I don't.
No, but
you look stupid,
you made up an alternate scenario to where no matter how I answered the question, it would make you look better because it wasn't reality. And now we're on a separate... Now that you used a real-life example, and I answered your question just to make you happy, now we're on to a separate argument of whether it's better to invest in Americans and pay more.
It was the exact same... I even used the same numbers. It didn't matter.
I have a question.
If it was a real-world example or not.
You said before this live you got in a 30-minute debate. Did you win that one?
I got kicked because I was giving statistics.
What statistics? Wait. What statistics were you giving? What was the debate about?
Okay, well, this is... Okay, it was actually a funny story, so I was talking to the guy.
Wait, let's hold on real quick. Can we let Ginger come in?
Oh wait, let Ginger say his age.
Yeah, he's been in here for like 3 minutes and hasn't been able to say anything.
Hey, good evening, fellas, or good morning. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing phenomenal, twin.
I'm living a dream. I'm 42, Virginia.
I bet.
Yes, I think Trump can be trusted with this economy. I'm not the biggest Trump supporter, but I will tell you, since 2020, more people have prospered with money than any era ever. More millionaires have been created since 2020. And that's just a proven fact. I mean, while the weak still struggle, I mean, economy and inflation, I'm in the grocery business myself. I have seen their prices fluctuate the way that they are. But we've created a scenario, we've created an economy where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and the middle class are still suffering. That's been the standard. But at the end of the day, if you're middle to upper class, you have kind of separated yourself from the bottom.
Okay, so we went through a lot of things there that millionaires. So Trump's economy is doing good because millionaires are making more money.
No, more millionaires have been created.
That's true. That's true, but that's due to stocks mostly.
Yeah, I mean, the baby boomers have a giant investment in their houses, and houses prices are going up. They have a giant portfolio in the stock market. You know, being a millionaire is not what it used to be.
Ginger, it's not liquid. It's mostly in real estate or in assets that can't be liquefied. It
can be liquefied. You can still sell your house for that price.
Yeah,
but then you're homeless.
Yeah,
that's not that helpful to people.
And then, especially with housing nowadays, you sell your house, you cannot get another one.
But if you're saying those people are older and they own those homes, they can rent that house out for you for $3 grand, $3,300.
Yeah, and what
they
does
can
that
make
do to
40
the
grand a
person
year,
renting?
right?
What does that do to the person renting?
I mean, who cares?
You just so
Okay.
you just don't care about the lower class.
No, but I'm saying who cares? Like why like what does that matter?
You said 3,300 for rent, like that's a casual ass thing, bro.
Yeah, but so what does that matter? What I mean, if you're who's renting? What is the market? Who?
So what's your argument? I'm confused. More millionaires are being made?
I mean, I think that there's more money being flown out than ever before. There's
Yeah,
It's
but
flown out.
okay, this is a problem we're having. We're attributing something to Trump. We're saying that Trump has some of his.
no, I'm not attributing it to Trump. I'm attributing it to life. I'm attributing it to inflation. I'm
Okay,
attributing
then
it to where we're at.
then why can the Trump administration be trusted with the economy? Because that's the prompt. That's why you jumped up.
I mean, it doesn't matter if it was Trump or Biden. It'd be the same economy right now.
I don't think so.
No.
Because I can point to a lot of metrics that the Biden administration did much better than the Trump administration. So I could say just by factual thing, if we look
So
at
you're saying Biden would have lower interest rates right now?
So you
I have no
said
idea,
you don't
but-
attribute.
Because
You said you don't
because
attribute these
statistically,
things to
that's
Trump,
not
right?
true.
You said you don't attribute these things to Trump, right?
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying that if it was Trump or Biden right now, it would be the same economy.
Yeah. So
No.
do you? So 15
All right,
seconds ago.
Is it yes or no?
No. So 15
Okay.
seconds ago, you said you don't attribute the factors of wealth to Trump, right?
I'm saying that no matter who is president, it'd be the same economy.
I'm asking you, do you attribute the factors to Trump or not?
I attribute the factors to where the world is from an economic standpoint.
Okay. And do you think Biden would have positively impacted the standard more than Trump has?
No.
Why?
Because I feel like inflation would be slightly worse, but I also feel like we'd be in the same war with Biden or Harris.
Henry, you got this.
Okay, so first of all, we can just know that that's objectively not true because we can look at the inflation rate from the Trump administration first term, from the Biden administration, from the inflation rate now, and so I won't blame COVID on Biden or Trump. We'll say that the worldwide pandemic and then the worldwide surplus thing, we had the inflation was higher all around the world. But then we saw inflation come down under the Biden administration, come back down to normal levels. So I know during the Biden administration, he trends towards the norm that he inherited, and I'm not even going to blame the high inflation that he inherited on Trump. We saw a huge boom in inflation all across the world. But we saw it trend
But why was it inflation? Because inflation because of COVID.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to blame that inflation on either one of them.
Okay.
Okay.
So, all right.
And then, but we saw in the Biden administration, it trend back down to normal levels. We saw it actually.
In interest rates?
No, I'm talking about inflation right now.
Okay.
And so we saw the trend go back down to normal levels. We saw it actually faster under the Biden administration than any other country in the entire world. And so we got back down and we got back around to normal levels. But during the Trump second term, we've seen nothing but increases. And we can point to things that he has done that are inflationary and known inflationary things. So I do know that Trump is worse on inflation because I can look at the decisions that they made. The decisions that Biden made trended us back to normal. And when I see
which part? Because if you want to talk about egg prices, there was a bird flu.
No, I'm talking about like the CPI, the overall entire inflationary period. I'm not talking about a single good. I'm talking about the entire collection of goods of the United States economy.
I mean, that's why I feel like it would still be the same thing, regardless.
But we know it wouldn't be because Biden objectively did better.
It would be.
He objectively did a better job on inflation.
Objectively,
I mean, if you value inflation going up,
okay,
determined objectively.
When line going down towards normal inflation rate, I would say that's good. I would say less inflation before reaching deflation. Is
And
it?
you're basing that off when Biden's term is. When was Biden's term?
I'm talking about the trend of his term. I'm saying that he had,
And he's coming out of the tail end of what?
The pandemic supports this. You know it, right?
Yeah, I don't know what the point you're making is. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm not blaming the pandemic inflation on either one of them.
I mean, statistics show that Democrats are not very strong in the economy.
That's not true. You're just wrong. That's what I'm pointing out to you.
Obama, who else? Biden, any Democratic president, actually, FDR, fuck it, like anyone.
Yeah, the economy does better under Democrats. It's
a statistical fact, actually.
I will tell you that my 401k.
I don't care about your personal experience.
No relevance. No relevance.
Really, no relevance at all.
No, but it still plays hand in the stock market.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, but you're gonna we're moving on to the stock market. You're gonna concede the inflation argument. We're gonna move away from that. We'll move on to the stock market if you want to concede the inflation argument.
You're saying Biden outperformed Trump in the stock market?
No. Wait. I'm not letting you move. Concede? Stop. Do you concede on the inflation part before we move on to the stock market? There's nothing I hate I hate more than anything in the world a pivot. So I'm sorry I can't let it go until we resolve that.
It's not necessarily a pivot.
Okay, so do you concede the inflation part and we'll just move straight on to the stock market?
Do you know what concede means? I can elaborate.
There's no conceding here because
okay, then we'll stay on inflation and then we'll ignore the stock market for now because I don't do pivots. That's just I don't do that here. So we saw inflation move towards.
If it doesn't work in your angle, I get that.
No, I never pivot. I'm never going to pivot.
If you concede, we can go right.
Yeah, I will move straight on to the stock market if you want. If you just concede on the inflation,
I can't concede on inflation.
Okay, then we'll go back. Then we'll keep debating inflation. That's no problem.
I can't do that because egg prices have gone down.
Oh.
He's using egg prices.
Okay, so
I mean, egg prices was a big deal during the election.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah, by the Trump.
Was it? Yeah. No, was it not? Was it not brought up as a big deal during the election? Egg prices was a big deal.
Yeah, by the Trumples.
Average cost of a dozen eggs.
Wait.
$5.50.
We're pivoting again. What was the?
Yeah.
What was the inflation rate when Biden left office?
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, it was in normal levels. It was in the levels that we would expect because we want some inflation because we're looking for growth, and sometimes growth causes inflation. So we're okay with like 2-3% inflation.
How can that be when interest rates are the same as they were then?
Because interest rates aren't necessarily exactly always tied to inflation because it's also tied to job growth. Because
they go hand in hand.
Not right now.
Okay, but they do.
They don't always because they're not right now. Okay. That's why even though we're having job growth, they still don't want to lower interest rates right now.
Right. Trump wants them to lower interest rates. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know they want them to. But they can't because the inflation is bad.
I want $1 billion. What does him wanting anything have to do with this?
And again, so we saw a high trend in inflation after the pandemic, and we saw it go back to normal levels under Biden. That means when Biden was president, we trended towards good inflation. A good inflation rate. That was the trend of the economy.
When was that? Tell me when that was.
The Biden administration.
That nobody experienced that because gas prices.
I don't care what people experience. I'm not worried about people's dumb knowledge of what the economy is.
That's real world analogy.
Wait, Ginger.
Gas prices.
Let's go to the price of eggs. Ginger, if the price of eggs is $5, it goes up to $10.
Ginger, wait. Did you take me out for Valentine's Day this year? Did you take me out for Valentine's Day? Yes or no question? Did you get me anything for my birthday?
I mean, you just sound like an apologist, man. At this point,
no, just answer the question, please. Did you take me out for Valentine's Day?
There's no relevancy to what you're saying.
I promise there is. I promise there is.
You're just being an apologist. I can agree with you.
Just say yes or no.
Did you take him out? Did you take him out for Valentine's Day? Yes or no? Did you take him out for Valentine's Day?
Bro, what are you, the co-signer? Here?
Answer.
Come on. I'm not trying to trap you. I'm just confused about something. I'm just really confused. Did you take me out?
Land your plane. Land the plane then.
Well, just gotta answer my question.
No, it has nothing to do with Valentine's Day. So land the plane. What do you got?
It's analogous in this instance. You have
All right, fine. Jinjo's too scared to, so I'll just do it anyway. So if you didn't take me out for Valentine's Day, you're clearly not my girlfriend, so I don't know why you're telling me about your feelings. So let's get back to the actual numbers. We saw a decrease of inflation. We saw it go down under the Biden administration. And when the Trump took office, it went back up again. We saw it go down. Good. And then when Trump came into office, we saw it go up. So you can pick out little different examples because inflation rate is not just a singular good. It's not just gas. It's not just eggs. And it's not just Valentine's Day boxes, which you didn't get me.
I'll use eggs. Can I use eggs for Ginger? So Ginger, let's say eggs are at $1, right? We want inflation to go up because we want growth. Let's say we project eggs to be $3 by the end of a term. They skyrocket to $5, and then we get them down to 3 and 4. Then another administration takes office and skyrockets them to 10, then brings them down to 8. Has inflation occurred? Higher than usual.
I mean, it wouldn't have mattered because we probably bought them in at 1, right?
What are you... We're talking about eggs right now.
Yeah, you said the price started at 1.
Yes.
Right? So I bought them at 1?
Eggs in this instance are talking about inflation. It's analogous.
So I bought the eggs at 1, right?
Inflation started.
So are you talking about corporate greed? Is that what you're getting at?
So inflation started at 1%. You want it to grow by 3% or so, which
3%.
Yes.
3% of $1 is what?
3 cents? What?
Right. So where the fuck are you getting this $3 from? I have no idea, but okay.
So do you know what an analogy is?
Yeah, I know, and that's what you guys do. You go in a roundabout.
So how is an analogy?
So how do you go from $1 to $10? Tell me how it grew that far.
So, bro, same shit with Trenton. No, same shit with Trenton, bro. We explained this like they're 5.
No, bro. I mean, this guy's giving me 13th grade analogy. Like, I'm not down with that.
Okay. Yeah, he gave a good one. He gave a good argument. You didn't listen. I'm giving you a childlike argument. You're still not listening. Do you need a boomer argument? I'm so confused. This guy, Christian, come up then. Stop typing in the comments, bro. Anyways, Ginger. So they have different rates of... He's gone. I miss Trenton. It was fun explaining to him how taxes tariffs work. The second Ginger came up, he just took the opportunity to leave, bro. Christian, come up, debate us. No, I mean Henry, not us. I'm a chill guy. Yeah. Christian, you spent $10 on eggs. How are you gonna let this outrage continue? Debate this filthy liberal. Christian, you need to do this for your people. He has no idea how bills work. You just said it. School him. I don't think Christian's coming up. How do they not understand what analogies are? That's the part that confuses me. Bro, did y'all not graduate high school? Yo, Joe's been talking the most shit. We'll never send a request. Ooh, Aura. Bro, that's like goy slob. Why are you eating Cheez-Its? It's like sludge. It's like sludge, bro. Like eat some organic foods, man. 3, bro. Throw it out then. Like, Mom, where am I? Who eats meatloaf? No, Joe. Okay, away from the politics conversation. No, okay, away from the politics conversation. Who is eating meatloaf in 2026, Joe? Is someone forcing you to eat meatloaf? What part of an animal is meatloaf? First off, and then what meat is meatloaf? Ground. There's no way it's ground beef. Or did he? Did he? Maybe he's changed. Maybe he's changed. Joe, for what meat? It's not. There's no way meatloaf is beef. I don't think that's because it's like spam. It's like spam. It's like it's absolutely because there's no way my school could have afforded that. Dude, get a calculator, compare Trump economy. No, why'd you dare him? Ooh, Christian. Ooh, Christian, get fried. Wait, not Henry. Eggs were $10 though, so you're wrong. Um, yeah, yeah, Henry, I'm sorry. Eggs were $10. You're wrong. Christian had to buy $10 eggs, bro. You gotta start studying. I bet. Lie. Who is lying? We brought up an actual statistic this time too. We're not even like using our analogies. Get calculator, compare Trump economy to Biden. Called math. Democrats have nothing. Math. Wait, real quick. I just want to ask you, math. What's an integral? What's an integral? Let's do. Hmm. Hmm. That's addition. Addition. Debt. Multiplication. Yeah. Multiplication. Yeah. Um. Hmm. And then what can we divide? What can we divide? We did the major three. What's the fourth one? Jobs. Jobs. Jobs divided. We use jobs for those that take an economics class are, I haven't taken one, but I'm smarter than you. Ducks. Ducks. 50-cent duck, 75-cent duck. Can you invite her up? Invite her. You're a host. You can invite. No, please. Day in school, bro. Bro, wait, make me mod. I'll invite her up. And then you can take my mod right after. Bro, lock in. Okay, click the request button, and then it should pull up all the people. You can invite them. Christian, I can't wait. We're gonna have so much fun. And we can talk about your $10 eggs as long as you want. Yeah. I mean, tariffs don't really cause inflation, but you can have that headcanon if you want. I mean, saying tariffs cause inflation might be like the stupidest thing I've heard all day. Because it's not changing the price of the American goods. Like, lock in, dude. No, invite her again. Mute her until she comes up. Like, dead ass. Invite her again. Yeah, it's 1:30 a.m. for me. Damn, you got worked, bro? Wait, Henry, yeah, dead ass. Why do you only go live at like the middle of the night? No one's awake. Yeah. Oh, wait, you work minimum wage? Oh. Oh, you're like a manager. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah. People lost their job under Biden. Yeah, so under Biden, we've had the most job growth in this country, like ever. Don't know about that one. Yeah. Yeah. And so, Christian, you're saying businesses failed. I don't know if you know this. We had this like you might have been hibernating for 2 years. We had this little thing called Corona. It was pretty bad. Um, like I recently learned this out. Like 80% of restaurants closed within like 2 years. Christian, you gotta lock in, bro. Have you invited her up yet? I'm still waiting. She has to click no, right? Because it stays for like 2 minutes. Ah, damn it! I was having fun. I'm Maga right here. All right. Good night, King.